All right, there we go, there we go, there we go. Welcome in. Nice early start, 106. They're already on track, going to be going green about 108, so nice, good timing today. Definitely thrilled that we don't have to wait around so long today. Who's ready for NASCAR to fix this race for an entertainment finish? Oh, yeah. Have I seen the Hill-Snyder confrontation? I saw they had a confrontation yesterday, but I'm not going to lie. What of the video I saw this morning, I think Austin Hill needs a suspension for that. That was not just a simple altercation where somebody got in someone else's face. He just decided to straight up slug Myatt Snyder after he's dumped Myatt Snyder on the racetrack. Like, I do not understand that logic. I mean, I understand that Austin Hill's bigger than everybody else out there, but to just think that if a guy gets in your face because you dumped him, that you can just slug him for that, I'm sorry, I'm not about that. That's a cheap shot, and that's a little bit different from what we normally see. Like I said, we see a little bit of pushing and shoving, but we don't normally see it just a guy. I mean, Myatt Snyder's just standing there. And Austin Hill just lost his temper and decided to slug the dude. I'm sorry, that is not the same thing. You know, we've seen it before where we see altercations, but we don't normally see one person just standing there and the other one just decide to take a swing. That's not very normal. So, like I said, I'm fully on board with the suspension for that. Like I said, if this wasn't a sporting event, that would be assault on the everyday track. You know, this is not like a mutual altercation. This was literally just, I mean, somebody's standing near me and I'm ticked off, so I'm gonna slug him. Like, I don't know, man. Lost all respect for Hill. I never had any in the first place, honestly. He raced like that and acted like that in trucks, and it drove me nuts. He'd run somebody over. If they came up to him after the race, he'd just toss him aside like a rag doll because he was bigger than them. And it's like, dude, you can't, just because you're bigger than everyone else outside the car doesn't mean you can treat them like crap inside. Because, I mean, he ran people over all day. You know, early in the race, he bumped Castle out of the way. Okay, it's Martinsville. Then he doored him in the middle of the corner. Okay, it's a little excessive. Then he walled him coming out of the corner. And that's when I'm like, okay, you're not even trying to race today. You're just going to start hitting people. So, like I said, I have no respect for what Austin Hill did yesterday, on the track or off. That was a really ugly look, and I don't want to see him anywhere near the Cup Series. So, yeah. Race picks, I actually am picking Chase Elliott today. Otherwise, I'd be picking Ryan Blaney or Joey Logano. It's those three are, I think, the favorites. Larson got the pole, but this is not one of Larson's best tracks. But let's be honest, this is going to be a track position race when it comes down to it. So I think the winner is currently starting in the first three rows just because of the straight-up speed. But that would be my pick right now. Is it's going to be either Chase Elliott or one of the Fords because they're the ones that show the most speed. All right, where? All right, getting ready to roll. Wow, Detroit is actually putting it on Miami. It's kind of nuts. All righty. Yep, there you go. So, stages 130, 130, and 240. They can make it one full stage on fuel, so I doubt you're going to see any pitting in the first stage. We will see about tire fall off and see kind of where that lines up at, but I'm not thinking we're going to see an overabundance of tire fall off. So I don't think you'll see anybody pit in the first stage. Everyone that wants stage points in stage one's going to just stay out until they get those stage points. Green flag in the air. Kyle Larson with a nice jump, and that's going to let Chase Elliott's going to let him down in front. So Larson away with the lead. Elliott second, side by side now with Ryan Blaney. And we are green, green, green. What a good feeling. All right, Ryan Blaney going to try and go around the outside. So still side by side for the second spot. Ryan Blaney with a really good run around the top right there. It's not appearing that Blaney's going to be able to make the pass. He's going to have to probably sort himself down in line here. This is probably the best time to do that. Yep, got in. So Ryan Blaney gets down in line. So it's going to be Larson, Elliott, Blaney, Boyer. Not Boyer. Oh my gosh, I thought that 14 car and just thought Boyer. Briscoe and Keselowski running in the top 5. Then we've got Cole Custer and then Suarez to the inside of Harvick. That's the battle for the 7th position. Chastain looking on in 9th with Harrison Burton in the 10th position. But yeah, it's going to be a choo-choo train race, at least on fresh tires. We'll see if they wear out over the course of the race, but so far it seems like everybody's fastest laps they're running, they're literally getting faster as the run starts. All right, Denny gets by, so Denny will take the 9th spot now from Kevin Harvick. So Harvick falls back to 10th. That'll move Ross Chastain up to 8th. As they currently run, let's see, points-wise, Elliott would have a 20-point gap, but it's hard to tell. This whole thing is a mess because obviously people are moving and they got to factor in the stage points and stuff. So, but 5 laps in, we do have a battle for the 11th spot. That is Joey Logano looking onto the inside of Harrison Burton. Also, Corey LaJoie, top 15 qualifying effort. Well done for him today. He's running in the 13th spot. You see Austin Hill punch Schneider? Yeah. Yeah, sorry, that was that I saw the replay of how that altercation started, and sorry, that's suspension worthy. Like I said, I've always been on the board of like, hey, fights happen, sometimes you push and shove, but I'm not a fan of if someone just comes up to talk to you that you just start swinging. Especially when you're the one that wrecked him. Like his excuse was I was mad for not making the playoffs, so I punched him. Like, what? That's not an excuse. Brandon Jones didn't even go punch Ty Gibbs. That would be the only one that would be, justifiable. But to have it where it's just, I'm mad, so boom. Not sure about that. Missed the green. Well, don't worry. You haven't missed too much. Yeah, no, Austin Hill has been like that his entire career. I saw him in trucks do the same crap. Like, he ran someone over. They came up to ask him why he ran him over, and he just threw him aside like a rag doll. And I'm just like, dude, just because you're bigger than everyone doesn't mean you have the right to run people over. Like, sometimes you have to answer for not racing people cleanly. I've never been impressed with his racing etiquette, so I'm really glad he's not in the Final Four because I don't think he really deserved to be there. But that moving forward, I don't want to see him in the Cup Series till he gets that kind of crap under control. Same for Ty Gibbs, by the way. I don't want to see him in Cup either. All right. As they run, they're showing the battle now between Truex and Jones. That's a battle for 25th, with Byron right in front in 24th. 11 laps in, and you can see right now there is not a ton of movement in the top 10. Everybody's literally still running the same pace as when the race started, so the tires in 10 laps haven't fallen off. We will see over the course of a longer run if that starts to fall off. So Larson out front. Let's see here. Yeah, no, Sauter dumped him in Iowa for that exact reason. I want to say Sauter nudged him in the middle of the corner, rubbed him, and in the next corner, Hill just sent it and, he dumped him. I mean, full-blown punted him into the corner, and, yeah, that's what he did. The good news is Beard Motorsports isn't fast enough to be a problem, I don't think. I was going to post in the comment section of the Larson Checkers or Wreckers. Looks awesome. Lionel did a great job replicating the damage, but it doesn't have passenger side window. Yeah, I thought that was weird too. No passenger side window in there I thought was a little weird. Bye-bye, Kyle Larson. 1 second lead. I don't know if a 1 second lead means all that much. It all comes down to what happens when he hits lap traffic. That's the question, because once he hits lap traffic, that's when it matters. Yeah, he's going to race at Daytona. That's going to be interesting. Ty's already in Cup. No, I get that. I'm saying when he goes full-time Cup racing, I really don't want to see the type of racing he did yesterday. And I don't think anyone else wants to see that in a Cup race either. That's no way to win a race. And I think a lot of people agree. Chastain is up to 7th. Yes, he got, his teammate let him by, so he is up to 7th. Hamlin to 9th. As the cut line currently sits, Elliott is plus 32. That's using the idea that there are stage points involved. So if you take out their current second, just on the points alone, Blaney is currently in by 5, but that is only under the assumption that nobody makes up any positions towards those two, which are running second and third. All right, so everybody's kind of single-filed out now and running the same speeds. Looks like, as I'm trying to see, Larson has started to fall off a little bit, about 0.2 of a second, so tiny bit of fall off. It's not much, though. So track position is still going to be king. There's no doubt about that. 18 laps in of a 130-lap stage, so 110 to go in the stage yet, so plenty of time for this to all cycle out. We're going to have some lap traffic and all that cycle in there. Now, Chase Briscoe is too far out. He is running about as good as possible right now, and he's still 30 points out of the cut line, so he is in a must-win situation. So Briscoe, there's no point in him going for anything but the win today. Looking at the pace at the moment, starting to drop a little bit, but it's not a lot. My opinion, Ty Gibbs is going to suck in Cup cars next year. Look at this year, he's not even up front. Actually, his average finish is 23rd. Not sure if that's a good or bad thing. I'm not a Hamlin fan, but every championship he deserved feels like another gut punch. I mean, if we're being completely honest, Denny Hamlin actually hasn't had a championship season. He's been, frankly, top 5 in a ton of seasons. But Denny Hamlin has not had a clear-cut championship season where he was head and shoulders above everybody else. You can look back at 2019. That was a great season for him, but at the end of the day, Kyle Busch and Martin Truex had better seasons than him that year. 2020, he was good. Kevin Harvick was head and shoulders better than him. 2021, he was solid. He led the points for half the season. But Kyle Larson had the better overall season by the end of it. So it's not like Denny Hamlin hasn't been good. It's just he hasn't been head and shoulders the best in any specific season. It's very similar to Mark Martin. Mark Martin was in championship battles all the time, but he just was never the one to end up snagging the win. But 2010 would be the one. I would say 2010, because if you get rid of the playoffs in that season, then he's not in that position at Homestead. So I do think 2010 would have been one of those seasons. But really, 2010 even, I want to say it was Kevin Harvick that if they had not had playoff resets, Kevin Harvick actually had a better season. So don't get me wrong, he definitely was. But that's what I mean. He was good in all these seasons. Denny Hamlin was literally a top 5 car over the course of like an entire decade. He just was never at that peak. Chase Elliott wasn't the best in 2020, but this year he was. So, that kind of balances out a little bit at times. But man, like, he literally looks a lot like Mark Martin in terms of winning a bunch of races, always being in the hunt, but he's never been the head and shoulders favorite of the bunch. It just seems weird. All right, so yeah, looking at the pace, it is starting to fall off. So we're starting to see some tire fall off, which is a really good sign. Looks like somewhere close to half a second of fall off so far, which is a big deal. I mean, half a second over the course of 30 laps, that's worth something. Now, obviously, you'd like it to be down to like a second, but hey, you take what you can get. The question's really going to come down to, does track position matter enough to just to offset the tires? Oh, I definitely think Hamlin deserves to be in the Final Four. He's run really well, but to be honest, the reason he's even in this position where he's barely on the cut line is due to the fact that he had such a bad regular season. He wasn't a top 10 driver in points when the playoffs started. So that actually hurts because you're missing out on some points. All right, Elliott has caught Kyle Larson now. Corey LaJoie in 12th. Yeah, shout out for that. All right, so 30 laps in, we are starting to see the lap traffic in front of all the leaders. Kevin Harvick just came up late last second. Let's see, I didn't see that one. What was that? Let's see. Senior would drive Gibbs out of the water. Yeah, I mean, Senior, they had a tact to them. They were very good about, ruffling the feathers of the young guys and also getting the young guys to run correctly. They didn't allow them to just do whatever they wanted. A young guy, if he chopped a veteran, they would just spin him. It sounds crazy, but yeah, they would literally just spin a guy out and say, "Hey, you're not going to race like that. Like, that's not how we do things." And they would learn their lesson and learn to drive with everybody else. We Winston Cup style format. Crown Jewels are double points. Each different type of track has different numbers of award points. Hey, I was good with that. I love the idea of having a super speedway champion and a short track champion and a road course champion, because then by the end of all these guys' careers, AJ Allmendinger may have two road course championships. And so even though in the grand scheme of his book, or the stat book, they'll say, AJ Allmendinger started X amount of races with X many top fives. Okay, cool. But then it'd be really cool to say, oh, by the way, he also scored 3 road course championships over the course of his career, and he was, oh, that tells the story better. He was really dominant on road courses. That's good to know. Just awards for running well at certain types of tracks seems nice. I mean, they think about it, the NFL does that stuff for their players too. They have, awards for being the best on offense, best on defense. They award players for exceptional things. Well, let's have exceptional awards for other things like that. Like, let's have an exceptional award for Cup guys that have been really good on road courses. Larson about to pass one of his own sponsors. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Spire Motorsports has one of the Hendrick sponsors on the hood, and Hendrick Cars is about to make the pass. Kind of weird. I really hope this isn't like the Xfinity race either. Like I said, I will take a long, drawn-out race with minimal chaos, because I can take good racing like we had yesterday for the first 450 laps, but the last 50 laps turned into carnage and chaos, and I'm just not a fan of that. I did not leave that race thinking, wow, that was great. Like, I looked at it and said, wow, that was kind of a sucky way to end that race. It was a good race up until that point. Just got my Cindric Daytona 500 win in, and it is nice. I actually also have it in. I'm just getting ready to make the review and take the pictures on it here today. Would you mind seeing racing like Allgaier Allmendinger race, though? Oh, no. Because the fact was, I wouldn't like it if it was one-sided. But Allgaier hit Allmendinger, Allmendinger hit Allgaier back. Then they were trading blows. If you're trading blows back and forth, I have no problem with it. What I don't like is what Austin Hill would do. Catch a guy in front of him that he hasn't raced all day, and then just knock him up the track, then door him, and then slide by. Then he caught another guy, knock him up the track, door him, and slide by. It was like, you're not racing them, you're just knocking them out of the way, and they're not knocking you back. Like, that's the difference. Is if they were both knocking into each other on a consistent basis, I'm a lot more likely to be, okay, I'll let that slide. But when they're just knocking into, a guy they haven't literally raced all day, and they just catch him and immediately start running into him, I don't think that's a good thing. All right, so Larson finally gets by the lap car at Castle, but for the reference, that took Kyle Larson a lot of laps, and Landon Castle is running 33rd. Kyle Larson got stuck behind 33rd place running car for about 8 to 10 laps to make that lapping pass. That's pretty bad, man. Oh, Briscoe to the bottom of Blaney. Briscoe's going to try and make up a spot here. Got into him in the corner. Here comes Keselowski. Ooh. Oh, Blaney back to the back bumper. Going to give him a nudge. Great corner for Ryan Blaney. He was able to really send it down into the corner right in front of Keselowski. and he was able to get it to stick. And now Keselowski has to look at Cole Custer now for the 5th spot. Cole Custer will slide by, and the reason that was significant was just because the way that Cole Custer got there was literally just arrow push from the car in front of him. If you want passing, go out on the interstate. Hey, passing is not always part of it, but I think the biggest thing is you need to be able to race the guy in front of you. If you can't race the guy in front of you because they're all too even on speed, then you have to find something to help the racing out. Because, yeah, like you said, racing isn't passing, but at the end of the day, you can't, it's not good for the fans to just have to watch a single file show all day. So there's a middle ground. Let's see. 50 max points short. I don't know about having different point totals for each track. I'm fine with each track having a certain amount of points. But I meant more like you score points and then save them in different banks. So there's a total bank and then there's the short track bank. And it's whoever scores the most points on certain types of tracks throughout the year. That includes just stages and stuff. So I'd be okay with that. Yeah, Cole Custer in top 5. I'm telling you, the Fords have good cars today. Meanwhile, keeping an eye on William Byron, still in 24th position, has not made any ground up so far. So passing appears to be a very big premium again, and it's will be interesting to see, I guess, if these guys are able to hold on. $50 laps in, 80 laps to go in the stage, so still a ton of time to go. Pace has dropped off about 0.7 of a second. So again, I don't see enough of a tire fall off to make it worth pitting, but there may at least be some advantage now. Yeah, the bump on Briscoe did absolutely nothing. We could do that, but we need an overall champion. It would still be an overall. It would be just you're scoring it twice essentially. You score your short track points and you score overall points, and they're the same. So whoever scores the most overall points is still the champion. But if you're the guy that scored the most points at short tracks that season, you also get an award. And then if you scored the most at road courses, you get an award. And basically it's just a thing to, bring a little significance to the drivers so that if you're not the best that season, you can still win some awards that help stack up in the career. So it also gives you something to run for. If you run at Martinsville, this is the last short track of the year, and say Chase Briscoe's 10 points out of that lead, he may not be eligible for the overall title, but if he's running for the short track title, he may try to win that. There's some cool bonuses that could be done with that. You could even have sponsored awards. You could have the Geico short track champion. You could have the Coca-Cola Super Speedway champion. All these things can be sponsored. The trophies can be sponsored, but just making more accolades to reward drivers so that it's not at the end of the year we have a champion and 43 losers. How about we have a champion and 6 other different people, and maybe the champion has a dominant season and wins all the rewards. Well, then it's still a dominant season. So I think it's good. Would you be fine just using the current regular season format for the full season, or change that too? No, I'd be fine with it. Use the stages, just don't have stage cautions on every track. You can still have stages, just no stage cautions. Excuse me. I need to get some water. All right, so Kyle Larson is now up behind Ty Dillon, and he's going to give him a bump up the track, and he's going to go ahead and just slide on by. Looks like that might be how you have to pass. You just have to bump him up the track. Didn't IndyCar try that idea? Different style formats and through year oval champ, road course champ? I think they did, and I don't think it was a bad idea. Is it bad? I like stages from the start. It awarded points for being good during a section of the race. No, I don't think the stage is the issue. I think it's the stage cautions is where people have the problem. Because what you end up doing is completely ruining strategy. I actually shared a link yesterday about the 2011 Kansas Fall race. And all race long, you had just weird timed cautions. Most of them, everyone would pit. But then there were some that 25 laps into a run, a caution came out. 4 guys stayed out. 5 guys did 2 tires. And at the end of the day, you ended up with just a bunch of different strategies kind of coming together at the end for a finish. And, of course, they also had the Gen 5 car with high horsepower, so it put on a great race. But, that strategy is something we're missing because everybody knows 130, 260, and then 1 time in stage 3. Those are the 3 pit stops you're going to make today. Where normally you might run this race backwards. Who knows when people are going to pit? Because at short tracks it was especially dangerous to stay out because if you got caught off cycle on pit stops, you'd be 2 laps down because you lose so much time on short tracks. So, as I said, a whole element of racing was eliminated with stage cautions. I'm going to emphasize cautions because you can have stage racing if you get rid of the stage cautions. But stage cautions have eliminated a massive chunk of strategy. Brad's helmet cam perspective is pretty cool. It is. I actually really like the way they mounted that. They have some in the Formula 1 they did, and I thought those are pretty cool too. This car sucks on short tracks. Again, my biggest problem with this car is that it just didn't need to get made. They put so much work and effort and all these things into this car and development when you had the right car in the Xfinity Series. They should have just made that the Cup car. It wouldn't have been that hard. And as a matter of fact, it would have literally been one of the easiest changes you could have made. You literally just adopt a car you already have and then put it in the Cup Series because if it runs in 2 series, now at least you got a place to go with it. You can go ahead and take the car from the Cup Series and sell it to an Xfinity team and they can use it. And it allows your teams to have an economy to use. All right, Kyle Larson now putting Kyle Busch a lap down. So we are starting to see the lapping get a little bit further up the field. Kyle Busch is running in the... Never mind. Kyle Busch is running 29th. Holy cow, that is bad. That's really bad. I thought he was lapping up to 20th. He's only lapped up to 30th, but Kyle Busch just happens to be the guy sitting there. Oof, that's bad. Oh, Elliott to the inside of Kyle Larson. Looks like he will go for the lead. Yep, they're going to let the 9 go. I'm assuming he's going to let the 9 go and slide back down so he doesn't have to lose any more spots. So the 9 will go to the lead here at Martinsville, and Kyle Larson will slide back to second, and we will see what the 9 car can do with the lap traffic. All right, 5 cars up and rolling again, so things look good. All right, Vikings going to get a field goal before the half. I have that game going, of course. How are my Jets doing? Still up 10-3. I'll take it. All right, lap 73. So Elliott will put Ty Gibbs a lap down. And Larson will get in the back of into the back of Gibbs. All right, so I was wondering if how hard he was going to race. I don't know. He might be having some humble pie today. But 74 laps in, they're going back to commercial. In current running order, Elliott, Larson, Briscoe, Blaney, and Custer in the top 10. Hamlin has made his way up to 7th. That's notable because he has passed Ross Chastain. So Chastain falls to 8th. And the other playoff guys to keep an eye on, Christopher Bell, not even in the top 10. He's in 15th. And we have William Byron running in the 22nd position. So still a long way to go for those guys. They're definitely going to have to do some work to get those cars up front if they want to make it into the championship 4. It was yesterday that Petrus imitated a good QB for one game. I wouldn't even say a good QB. He just imitated a competent QB. The Hawkeyes approach yesterday was like, hey, we're going to come out with the idea that we're going to throw the ball on an equal pace of run. Instead, all season they've come out with, we're going to run the ball a boatload and throw if we have to. And then yesterday they were like, well, we're going to be balanced. It was like, wow, what a much better approach. All right. So tires have now hit a full second of fall off. And the reason that's interesting is to find out as the run goes on, what happens when new tires get put on? Do these tires, are they just getting hot? So if they cool back down under a caution, do they hold that pace? That's what I'm interested to see. I need to get some water. All right. Wow, the Bears are awful. All right, 50 laps to go in the stage. Elliott still out front by half a second over Larson, Briscoe, Custer, and Keselowski. Where is Blaney? Blaney has fallen to 6th. That's actually a pretty notable deal. So Blaney back to 6th, Hamlin 7th, Chastain in 8th, and Byron not even in the top 10. And the reason that's a big deal is because as we currently sit, we have, Elliott, as they currently run, would have a 31-point gap on the cut line. So that's a big deal. Obviously, if somebody wins, it drops to a 21-point cut line, but it's still notable. Excuse me. All right. So Elliott has now gotten up to Eric Jones. Eric Jones is currently running in the 26th position. Very interesting. The whole stage has gone green. Let's see what happened with the 12 here. Oh, that's what he did. Custer just knocked him clean up the track. That was just a straight up nailed him. So a little loose for sure, but boy, that was a heck of a dive bomb. All right, so yeah, tires are definitely falling off to a degree. The question is just how much are they falling off? Blaney has now dropped behind Denny Hamlin. That might make it a must-win at this point. He's going to need stage points, so if a caution comes out now, he might be able to get tires. There's a chance for stuff like that, but I think at the moment that they currently run, Ryan Blaney is going to be in a must-win because the car has really not held on very well. Building loose. So building very loose on them today is the condition that Ryan Blaney is fighting. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin has gone past Brad Keselowski. That is for the 5th position. Also a battle for 3rd. Cole Custer going to make a move on the inside of Chase Briscoe. And it looks like Hamlin's going to try and follow him through. So Chase Briscoe now falls into the 4th spot, but Hamlin is there. A very interesting teammate. Thank you, Grandpa. I saw that one. I thought that was pretty funny. Huh. The digital dash is kind of cool, actually. They're not even into 5th gear. It was very cool. I'm looking at Brad Keselowski's visor cam, seeing the lap times that keep popping up. That's kind of cool. I really like that. If Elliott wins stage 1 and 2, will he lock in like last year? I don't know if he'll lock in because it'll depend on how many points everyone else gets. But he's definitely going to be in a much better situation for sure. Remember, his gap was only 11 points this time around. Last year, he had a much bigger gap. Ooh, radio issues for the 14. Something sounds off. Yeah, no, the tires have fallen off a little bit more today, so there's some movement. It took 80, 90 laps, and this is why I say I don't like the stage cautions, because here in about 40 laps, they're all going to get tires, and they're going to have to wait 90 more laps, where they might have been able to pit and start pulling strategy now, and we could have had a whole bunch of different things rolling around. Instead, right now, we just know in 40 laps we'll have a caution, everyone will pit, and then, we do it all again. So that's just me. Alrighty. Christopher Bell up to 12th. A pretty good run for the DeWalt 20. I love that car. Oh, wow. Just going to nail Logano in the middle of the corner. Didn't even try to pass him. Just rolls up on him and hits him. Wow, that 20 car looks stout. Yeah, Bell just went straight to the bumper on that one. All right, as they run, about 38 laps to go. Current points cut line has Hamlin in and Byron and Blaney out. Now, Byron is probably getting close to a lap down. I don't know, with 40 laps to go. Let's see here. He is 3 cars in front of leader Chase Elliott, and I assume Chase Elliott will try to cut him as much slack as he can. But at the end of the day, you are racing him for that position. That's something you have to take into consideration. That, interesting. Denny Hamlin has gone to running the top in the corners to try and keep the clean air on the car, and he's getting a great launch down the straightaways. So very interesting because he's able to get harder on the brakes, get bigger runs, and then get to the bottom. And it's working. I mean, he's up to 4th. So Denny Hamlin, good car today. Ooh, Larson with a big wiggle. Hamlin may go 2 for 1 here. So that wiggle may just open the door for Denny Hamlin to go 2 for 1. He's going to get them both. And there goes Denny. This is Denny Hamlin now up to the 2nd spot. Coming around 30 to go this next time by. 22 cars on the lead lap. And so as they continue to lap cars, that's a big deal. Like I said, Noah Gragson 20th and 21st is William Byron. So as Chase Elliott works on Martin Truex Jr., that's a battle for a pretty key position. I mean, top 20 is a big deal if you can get 20 cars off the lead lap. So very interesting that this early in the race, we actually are seeing a lot more cars lose that lap. It is good to see, though. Martinsville has some improvement made with the tire change, but still needs a little more. I think they need some more horsepower. These cars are not, they're getting the power down too easy. All right, let's see how my Jets are doing. Are they at halftime? Oh, they're losing. It's 3rd quarter. Gosh darn it. All right. All right, Jets. Gotta dig in. Oh, why is it trying to feed me the Bears-Cowboys? I don't give 2 rips on that game. Still under commercial at the moment, but Denny Hamlin has really chopped that lead down. He is coming for the lead. Really able to get those tires to hang on the long run. All right, still on the commercial, but yeah, down to 9/10 of a second. So, like I said, the pace right now for Denny Hamlin has gotten much, much quicker. He is coming. Let's see. It looks like Elliott has gotten by both Truex and Buescher. His next car to go a lap down would be Noah Gragson in 21st. Big gap right there. There's a big gap between Truex and the guys in front. So, for whatever reason, they were having some struggles back there. $25 to go. All right, as they run, getting close to the 20 to go mark. Who's that right in front? That's a lap car of BJ McLeod, so that is not big. They got almost a full straightaway to the next set of lap cars, so they may run the rest of this stage without even encountering the lap traffic. Yeah, because they're in clean air, they are stretching it out over Custer and Larson. Yeah, a 2020 Hamlin Martinsville win would be nice as a NASCAR Classics release. I would love to see them go back and offer more wins from the past. I like how they're doing it, though, where they're not doing too many at once. They're doing just kind of one every so often, and it allows them to be a much popular release. You know, the releases for all these classics end up being a lot more popular because it's like, oh, there's only 2 out at a time, so people are more likely to get them. They release 10 to 15 at once. They may not, they may not have as much luck getting them all produced. So I think that does help, the fact that they are doing them so spread out one at a time. All right, 20 to go. Hamlin is there. All right, so we may have a battle for the lead. The battle for second, Cole Custer's 5 seconds back. So Cole Custer, Kyle Larson, Chase Briscoe are still stuck in a lot of that lap traffic. These guys have had nothing but perfectly clean air in front of them. So they have driven off. These two will finish 1-2, as barring a caution or major contact of some kind. No one else is catching it. So this will be the battle for that lead. And we're talking one stage point is what the overall total will result with. The question really comes down to what will that look like? Because 1 point for these two may not make a lot of difference right now, but at the end of the race it might. So up to 21st now a lap down. Now they're coming up on Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon is going to lose his second lap, as is BJ McLeod, I believe, that is right in front of him. So I don't think they will catch William Byron. So Byron should remain on the lead lap. He's got a pretty healthy gap. Actually, he's by Corey LaJoy now, but they got a 4-second gap, and they're not going to catch 4 seconds of time in 16 laps. Kyle Busch is really struggling. Kyle Busch about to lose a second lap. Thing is sliding all over the place. That is an evil, evil race car. I mean, that thing is... He might have a flat. That's a lot of wiggling. Still green. Alan just said it. Where have I seen this before? To be fair, this is a stage win, so I don't know if we'll see that. Meanwhile, just a note for the other guys in that playoff bubble hunt, Ross Chastain has fallen to 9th, so he is down to only earning 2 stage points at the moment, and Ryan Blaney has fallen to 7th, so definitely not the stage 1 those guys would have been looking for, because they definitely are wanting to have as many stage points as possible moving forward, but unfortunately they have not had the stage 1 they would be hoping for. So Elliott had for a second there, he went on the high lane. Then he left the door open, and Hamlin's going to slide right in. Hamlin is there, though. Hamlin should be able to make this pass. There, he did it. Had to move just a little higher, and then he was able to get by. So Hamlin to the lead. 10 to go in the stage. Do I think he'll make it in his final year? I have no idea. So 9 to go. Hamlin now out in front, and that car is cruising. Very good pace in that car. He has got, he's got 2 to 3 tenths of a second on the whole field right now. Oh, Byron actually could be in some trouble here. Hamlin's catching. 7 to go. Hamlin would love to put Byron a lap down. Because if Hamlin can put Byron a lap down, that really helps his chances of getting in. That's the guy he has to beat to get into the playoffs, or to get into the Final Four. Hamlin is there. 7 to go. This is not over yet. I didn't think they'd get there. But Denny Hamlin is on a mission, and he's trying to catch that 24. 7 to go. Because he does not just want to pass the 24. He wants to pass the 24 and trap him a lap down by passing someone else. And Denny Hamlin is there. This is actually a massive deal. All right, Byron to the inside. He's going to get a launch off the corner. Here comes the 11. He's on his bumper. Does he send it in deep? He does. Makes some contact. Sends a 24. No, the 24 doesn't even move. Ooh, then Dillon gets into the side of Hamlin. A lot of heavy lap traffic going right here. Wow, Kyle Busch's car is evil. He's losing another lap. What is going on with that 18 car? Hamlin is there. Boy, William Byron has got to be very careful here. He definitely wants to stay on the lead lap. He does not want to get trapped a lap down, but Denny Hamlin has got a good car right now. 3 to go in the stage. All right, coming around to 2 to go. I think Hamlin may use the bumper this next time by. William leaves the door open. The 11 is alongside. 2 to go. This is massive. Down into the 3 and 4. Hamlin to the inside. And he will clear. So William Byron loses a lap in stage 1. That is a massive, massive deal. And if he gets to the 45, that will trap William Byron 1 lap down. He's not going to quite get there. He's going to try. He's not going to get there. So William Byron will be the free pass, but that traps him at the back of the field to start the next stage. Huge development when it comes to Byron being able to get into the Championship 4. That's big. So our results at the end of stage 1 are going to be Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Cole Custer, Kyle Larson, Chase Briscoe, Brad Keselowski, Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney in 8th, Ross Chastain in 9th and Daniel Suarez 10th. So big stage for points for both Hamlin and Elliott. That puts them to the top, but they have a big, 31-point gap on William Byron on that cut line. And one of the biggest problems for both those guys coming forward is going to be if somebody wins, that cut line moves up to Ross Chastain. There's only a 6-point cushion there. So Ross Chastain is only safe if no one else wins. Big development there, though. Hamlin, Logano, Elliott, and Chastain or Blaney. I think it's going to be Elliott, Logano, Hamlin, and Chastain. Blaney has to win. Blaney has to get 36 points. Sorry, 30 points. So Blaney needs to score a lot of points more than Chastain as long as Chastain is consistently running. But definitely a good change for the tire for sure. I would agree there. All right, I'm going to go grab, after pit stops, I'm going to go grab a water. Need to get one of them. All right, so once they come rolling around and get through here, it's going to be top 17 on the lead lap. So only 17 cars on the lead lap. That's, as I said, that's big because William Byron will start at the tail of the field to start the next stage. No water, get Pepsi. I have a Mountain Dew already. I just need I need a big old jug of water. Is it bad that you don't drink water? It will be someday. It may not hurt you yet, but it will at some point. All right, getting ready. We'll see the first set of pit stops here. Remember, very key point, Chase Elliott got pit stall number 1 from Kyle Larson today. Kyle Larson wins the pole, but takes the first pit stall into pit road, while Chase Elliott ends up getting the first stall out of pit road. So, kind of a little team games working on there. But that could pay dividends, especially even on this stop right here. We'll see. Cars are in. All right, Hamlin is in. Everyone should be doing 4 tires and fuel. Don't see anything too chaotic at the moment. Oh, that tire rolled away. Did they get it? The 11 had a tire bounce and roll a little way. I think he caught it, though. Looks like he got it. So they should be good there. Did Joey Logano do 2 tires? So Chase Elliott waits on gas, but that allows him to still come out second. Excuse me, man. Don't have diabetes yet. Well, I wouldn't recommend trying to get it. All right. We'll be right back. Gonna go grab some water, and we'll get ready for the start of stage 2. Okay, quick note for everybody as we come back. Looks like to the rear of the field, Chase Briscoe removing equipment was the penalty here. Very, very key. Looks like the gas can just did not disengage and got yanked out of the pit stall. That is a to the rear. And the biggest thing is it's not just to the rear of the lead lap cars. It is to the rear of the entire field. He will start behind all the lap cars. And that is going to be a little bit of trouble for him. That's a big deal for those guys. All right, so getting around to the choose cone, I'm gonna go grab my water. I forgot. Okay, got the water. Didn't take that long. All right, getting around here. It'll be Elliott on the outside, Hamlin on the inside as they come around to take the green flag. Larson, Custer, row 2, Keselowski, Bell in row 3. Oh, look at that. I would not be opposed to a warning to Hamlin on that restart. Denny Hamlin brake checked at the end of the restart zone and stacked up the entire field. And there was some big contact at the back of the field. I think everyone's good. I don't see anyone with major damage, but that is not a game that we want to be playing. Because brake checking in the restart zone when everyone else is speeding up is just a disaster waiting to happen. Yeah, there's damage on some cars. Like I said, that was a lot of checking up right there. All right, so as they get away, Hamlin away with the lead, then Elliott, Larson, Bell, Custer, and Bell rounding out the top 5 as they go. All right, remember, 130 laps is the stage, so same distance for this stage as the last. Notable chase or playoff guys: Hamlin, Elliott, 1st and 2nd, Blaney 7th, Chastain 9th. And then you have, of course, at the back of the field, or tail end of the lead lap, Byron and Briscoe. Wow, I could love to be able to speak. And they are at the tail of the lead lap right now. All right, so as they currently run, like I said, the tires are going to take a little bit to kind of come in. But the big notable there is Briscoe and Byron are 7.5 seconds off, and the other guys are 5. So they're 2.5 seconds behind the next position. Elliott to Rick Ware Racing in 2024. Rick Ware would see very minimal improvement. I mean, they see some improvement, but their cars are just junk. If everyone that hops in them has the same exact result, the car is no good. Yeah, he ain't leaving Hendrick. That's a lifetime seat that he's got there. Okay, yeah, so it is in the helmet. This is the exact same thing Formula One has. That's why it's so clean, is because it's inside the helmet. It's a helmet cam. So it doesn't get all the dirt and dust in it. It's inside the shield. That's also why there's a slight tint in it. All right, so Denny Hamlin out front. We'll see how many cars he laps this time around, because this time he won't have to work through all the traffic to get there. The Never Lift. Team Never Lift. All right, so as they run, Hamlin already out to a 1.2 second lead. He has no reason to look back. He should have won this race last year. He's coming to get it today. All right, so right now we're in the boring stage of the run. I'll be honest, that's what's happening. This is the area of the run where you kind of unfortunately are dealing with waiting for all the tires to wear even out and whatnot. So going to be a little bit yet before we start to see the fun stuff kick up. But there's a couple little battles, but just this is the area of the run where they just, tires have to wear out a little bit before you start seeing any movement amongst the cars. Have a good one, Clyde. I'll see you later. All right, William Byron. Ooh, contact with Chase Briscoe. Those two are racing each other really hard. They're all the way right back to Landon Castle at the moment. Boy, they're battling hard. And I can't blame them. They're 12 seconds off the pace. I mean, they need to be going because coming around the backside, Denny Hamlin giving another 50 laps. He's going to be there. They have to get moving. Yeah, Hamlin driving away, 1.2 second lead, and he'll be getting close to lap traffic here soon, because these guys are 13 seconds off the pace. They 7 more seconds of lap time, and Hamlin will be there. Alrighty, so as they currently run, Chastain in 10th, Blaney in 7th. Those are your notable playoff guys looking for points along that cut line. Chastain is in 10th, and like I said, Byron way in the back. I shouldn't say way in the back. He's way in the back position-wise. He's in 17th position, but has to pass a lot of lap cars before he can even get up into position to start making passes for position on the racetrack. 77 going to let the 24 by. Yeah, Cindric's bumper's all crinkled up. That was part of the unfortunate scuffle between the two. All right, into another commercial break we go. Sorry, I muted the mic. Whoops. All right, so as we run under commercial, or as we sit under commercial, you can see all the lap times, 20.5, 20.6, 20.6, 20.7. I mean, everybody's running within the same little window of each other. That's why you don't see a lot of passing yet. Tires take about 80 laps, unfortunately, to get up to temp. And once they get to that temperature, whatever it might be, that's when you'll start to see some changes in speed, and you'll see the faster cars start to come forward. And, you know, that's something we'll definitely keep our eye on here. Let's see, what do I need to plug in here?
Taking away the scrambles, anything to the outside, they're taken away. So Cousins is going to have to stay in the pocket, step up and make some throws. Jefferson in motion to the left.
Alrighty.
First down, hand off to Hamlin, lunging up the middle between the hash marks across the left.
Need to get some headphones hooked up to that. Okay, that'll be what we'll do. Kurt is working in the garage. That's pretty cool. Oh, I didn't know. What's he in the garage? Who's he working with? We're still green, so he didn't have a crash. So Denny Hamlin setting his crews out front. Very interesting that Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell are so good, and Truex and Kyle Busch are so bad. I mean, Kyle Busch he's out of the race at this point. Kyle Busch back in 36th position. What in the world happened to that car? I mean, that thing was evil. You could see it sliding all over the place. 5 laps down. That's trouble there. Oh, okay. Got his home garage. Yeah, no, he definitely did that. Okay. All right, so Denny Hamlin's still out front, starting to catch a few of the back marker lap cars. Not really catching those cars that he's not really catching the cars that you would think, like, you know, Dillon, Brusher, Stenhouse. He's catching the Rick Ware cars, so starting to get into the early stages of lap traffic. His lap times have fallen off a little bit. Traffic will do that, so that's not a shock. But as he starts to make these passes and get by guys, this is when you'll start to see, you know, some of that tire fall off start to come into play. It's 40 laps into a run, so still pretty fresh tires on these guys. Hamlin leads, Elliott second, Larson third, Custer fourth, and Christopher Bell in fifth. Blaney seventh, and Chastain 10th. Those are your playoff runners. Guess Christopher Bell's also a playoff runner, but he's a winning in, so, you know, stage points are all but irrelevant for him. Ty Gibbs Racing, Joe Gibbs Racing. Yeah, that was a legendary response from Noah. Man, I cannot wait for Noah to be in the Cup Series. He just has so much to offer the sport. He's so fun. I love it. I would be so happy if Brandon Jones just dumps Ty Gibbs next week. Just punts him into a corner and spins him out and wrecks his car. I would be so happy. That would be the greatest way for this season to go. All right, so 0.6 of a second lead for Denny Hamlin out front. Trying to keep an eye on that battle up here with, where are they? There they are. Briscoe and Byron still running 17th and 18th, but 16 seconds off the pace, man. They are going to get caught in this lap traffic. If they can't get forward, Denny Hamlin's going to get there, and he's going to go ahead and just take that. And then they're going to get stuck a lap down again. So very big development, because that's two guys that if Denny Hamlin traps a lap down, he's only battling Bell and Blaney then. And in classic Vikings fashion, they blow the lead only to immediately take it back on the next drive. That is what the Vikings do. I don't know why, but they are the best team when trailing. They blow the lead, lose the lead, and the second they lose the lead, they suddenly get better and go straight down the field and score a touchdown. It makes no sense at all. All right, let's get back to the chats here. Oh, wait. Yeah, we're good. Oop, there we go. Sorry, I'm trying to get the my Vikings game over here in the corner. I gotta shrink the window though. The window got stuck in a certain size. That'll work. I'll put it up there. Okay. Am I good? Yeah, we're good, man. Welcome in. Right now we're just waiting for about lap 80 or 90. Right now nobody can make a pass because everyone's on the same tires. So this is kind of the duller stretch of the run. It's unfortunately just part of what this car and what we got to deal with. So as they eventually get this run going and the tires start to wear out a little bit better, we'll have a better understanding of where everyone's running. All right, going into the corner. Looks like Kyle Busch going to lose another lap. That car is evil. I wouldn't even be surprised if Gibbs just gave up on that car and didn't even bother putting effort in. Because, I mean, he's running with the Rick Ware cars at this point. You can't tell me Kyle Busch is going out there and willingly running that bad. Kyle Busch is not like that. Oh, another full screen commercial. You can thank Dallas for beating your division rivals, too. Well, I mean, the Bears are the Bears, so, that's what the Bears are. I'm not shocked. Oh, boy, that's bad. Yeah, a tomato for an engine? Just about. I mean, it is just about as bad. That's an ugly-looking race car. Ty Gibbs, a spoiled little brat, will never learn how to work for anything in his life. He'll just be given a ride with top teams without having to work for it. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's not like the kid doesn't put the work in to learn how to drive these cars and get better at it. So there is that work, but yeah, the really hard, he never had to go through the hard times of, hey, you don't have a ride, you don't have a sponsor, and you're just stuck sitting there wondering, am I going to be able to race tomorrow? That was never a question he had to deal with. So that's something that, other guys, I think it makes them a better driver eventually. All right, so as we currently go right now, Parsons picked up a Bears fumble, and the Bears thought he had been a touchdown but allowed. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I see. They fumbled the goal line. Dang. Just won a league race, now locked into the playoffs. All right, so lap 60 on the stage right now. Again, no big movers in the top 10 at the moment, just kind of cruising along. We'll start to see the tire fall off here as we are now half a second of fall off overall. Still Hamlin, Elliott, Larson, Custer, and Bell in the top 5, but now is when we're going to start to see some of that fall off take place. Meanwhile, William Byron and Christopher Bell still about 16. William Byron and Christopher Bell? William Byron and Chase Briscoe. They are about 16 seconds ahead of the leader, or behind the leader, I should say. So, leader is catching him, but he's got a little ways before he gets there. So, they do need to get moving, or they will get themselves caught a lap down again, which would be a very big deal. Notable shout-out runs. Corey LaJoy, first car a lap down in 19th. He had a pretty good run to start the day, just didn't have a good long-run car. Tyler Reddick has gone to the garage. Tyler Reddick has brought it to the garage, not feeling well. Tyler Reddick to the garage, not feeling well, headache. Not sure if we've got. I'm trying to think. What happened last week? Did he wreck? I hope they. I don't think that they asked if they had any Xfinity drivers sitting around. I hope there's somebody sitting around. So, I hope he's all right. Obviously, can't tell if he's just getting sick or. They ain't gonna fit Austin Hill in his car. Austin Hill's like a foot and a half taller. He did wreck last week? Okay. Oh, he did. That's right. So he may have been trying to drive with a concussion. I would be interested to see what they have to say for that. But, yeah, not Austin Hill. Anyone but Hill. Who else would even be around, though? I mean, if you're a guy like, B.J. McLeod, wouldn't you like to drive the 8 car for a day? That'd be fun. I don't think anyone else is out of the race yet, so I'm not sure what they're going to do. Oh, that's right. Bowman's technically approved if he really wanted to. Wow, Denny Hamlin up to a 2.3 second lead. Elliott got stuck behind Austin Cindric for a few laps, and boy, did that lead get stretched. Denny Hamlin is gone. Cody Warren. What happened to the 2? The 2 had contact on the restart. Denny Hamlin kind of brake checked everybody to start the restart, and it stacked up the whole field, and he just rear-ended the guy in front of him. It was unfortunately just one of those things where Elliott had a really good start, a really good run on the restart, and it really ended up causing problems because Denny didn't want to let him go by, obviously. So he brake checked at the end of the zone, and then everybody got stacked up. So yeah, that created quite the mess. Denny might have been saving his tires. He's up, like I said, he is driving away. It doesn't seem like anyone can even touch that 11 car right now. Ryan Blaney is up to 7th. He's stuck in traffic, is his exact quote to his crew chief. I'm assuming he's going to try and get that spot from Keselowski. He needs as many stage points as possible because right now he's looking at having to catch Chastain because it looks like Hamlin's going to get another stage win unless things change dramatically. But either way, it does not appear that it's going to be a close battle between them on points. So he's going to have to hope he can catch either Byron or he's going to want to try and catch Byron or Chastain on points. Right now, he's got a big gap. It's 28 points. NASCAR drivers today get a stomach bug, yet not even 20 years ago, Tony Stewart drove and he crapped himself. I don't know about that. You got to realize Tyler Reddick may have a bad concussion, and if he's driving around and things are not looking right and his vision isn't right, he's got other people out there that can get him hurt, and he can crash and get himself hurt worse. So, the cars definitely are not, they're not where they need to be. These things, like a lot of when these drivers say they're the hardest hits they've ever taken, remember, some of these drivers drove Gen 4 cars. So these are worse than Gen 4 cars in terms of what the driver is feeling. And that's a big deal. So I'm not going to blame Tyler Reddick. I don't think he'd want to get out of that car for feeling bad. I think there is something I think he's visually or mentally struggling. Something's not looking right. It's not seeming right. This is not someone just being a wimp. I think we have legitimate concussion issues where these drivers are dealing with symptoms. I mean, Kurt Busch is still recovering. So, that's a big deal. Oh, Ryan Blaney gave Keselowski a shot in the middle of the corner. That was a pretty hard hit right in the dead center of the corner. I mean, it's better to be in the best condition, sure, but I mean, it's one thing if you're just, I don't feel well in my stomach. It's another when, look, my vision is getting bubbly. Things are really getting dizzy around here. Like, you know, if you got to realize, if he goes off into the corner and misses the corner because he can't see what he's doing and nails the wall again, a second concussion in 5 days can be a very dangerous thing. So that's something that I think is probably worth taking a look and just being on the safe side. All right, Chase Briscoe now 2 cars in front of Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin puts him a lap down. That's going to be big. He's getting oh my goodness, we're going full screen commercial. This is a crime against humanity, NASCAR. You can't do this to us. We deserve better than this. Bring the COT back. Bring the Gen 5 back. Not the COT with the wing, but the one that they ran in 2012 with a shorter spoiler and shorter splitter, and we'd be golden. Oh, there you go, Vikings. I told you. Most dangerous. Once they get down and they're not leading in a game, suddenly they start to score again. Good grief. There's like 100 players in the end zone. Still in the third quarter, so plenty of time yet. Yeah, RCR was looking out for Reddick there. Alrighty. So keeping an eye on it right now. It looks like Chase Briscoe's the next guy to lose a lap. 18th position. And he's right. He's right by William Byron. So both those guys still in danger. They lose that lap. I'm telling you, that's practically the race for them. All right, Bills-Packers tonight in Buffalo. And that could put the Packers down to 3-5, the Vikings up to 6-1. That would probably just about do it for the season. All right, so as we look, yep, it has happened. Chase Briscoe lost the lap, and Denny Hamlin driving away. Now he's looking after William Byron. Playoff implications, as the meme goes. And he is looking right at the back bumper, looking to the inside of William Byron. Byron sends it in deep on the high side, but it's not going to get there. It doesn't stick. And Denny Hamlin has now lapped 2 of his playoff contenders. That's pretty big, man. That's a big deal. They're going to battle for the free pass until they catch Michael McDowell. He is running in the 16th position. Look at that 17 car. That thing's beautiful. Love it. I love that 17 car. All right, Denny Hamlin now looking to the inside of the 15. All right, Christopher Bell trying to lap Austin Cindric. Wow, that's a shot. Gave him a big. Ooh, that was a little bit of. That was a little interesting. Cindric got punted out of the way in the middle of the corner, holding up 5th place Christopher Bell, and he hooked right and tried to hook the 20. Didn't quite get there, but Jeez, it's a little different when you're just going to hook a playoff guy and a lap car as a lap car. That's, I don't know about that.
Looks like a calf. That calf area, when you're 330 plus pounds, those calves become very important. So Kyler Murray and Arizona, 4 plays, 70 yards, a minute 40. So the Vikings scored 2 touchdowns in the span of a minute 40. Harrison Smith intercepted.
All right, so as they run, Denny Hamlin out to a 3-second lead. He is running away from this field. Chase Elliott 3 seconds back. Kyle Larson 5.5 seconds back, so big gap back to these guys. Denny Hamlin just setting sail on everybody. And like I said, he's already put Byron and Briscoe a lap down. Michael McDowell's next on that list. If Michael McDowell goes a lap down, that would mean that those guys are going to get stuck a lap down. They are not going to be eligible for that free pass position. So big miscue for Briscoe on pit road. Looks like it's going to cost him. Oh, yeah, no yellows today. Like I said, the no yellows don't make a race good. Racing makes the race good. Unfortunately, these cars are just so stuck to the racetrack that even a nudge only makes it slide up the hill a little bit. And so I do think that, like I said, the Xfinity car is a better car for racing because you would have yellows just from regular racing contact, where here the contact is heavier than the Xfinity Series. The cars are just so stuck to the ground, they don't spin. So I do think that the lack of quote-unquote cautions could be a problem, but it's not due to the yellow flags. It's not the spinning that makes the racing good. It's the cars slipping and sliding around on the racetrack that makes the racing good. When they're too stuck on the racetrack, it makes the racing a little worse. So like I said, it's kind of, they're both symptoms of the same problem. So when someone says the race wasn't very good and you notice there's no caution flags, it's not because there was no caution flags, it's because the cars were too stuck to the ground to create caution flags, which also meant the racing wasn't as good because they were too stuck to the ground to make moves on each other. And so that's kind of what happens there. All right, 32 laps to go. Blaney now looking to the inside of Keselowski. We have a pass. A lead lap pass. Absolutely incredible. Never mind, Keselowski drives back by. Just kidding, it's close. Burton? Harrison Burton is running in the 14th position. Staying on the lead lap today. I say the Fords have good speed today. All right, Michael McDowell, 19 seconds behind. He's within 2 seconds of getting lapped. Another full-screen commercial, by the way. This is getting a little ridiculous, man. Yeah, good battle going on, and we go full-screen commercial. Not a fan of that. Also, Denny Hamlin's lead is up to 5.1 seconds. He is absolutely whooping the field right now. He's got 0.2 of a second on just about everybody. 28 to go in the stage. Can't really tell how soon he's going to get to McDowell, but I'm assuming, judging by the pace, it's going to be quick. All right, so as they currently run, like I said, watching the speeds on the racetrack, Denny Hamlin is really getting his way through traffic. This looks like Elliott 2020 all over again. Really dominant car that's just going to drive off every time it gets to the lead and run off with it. This may be Denny's year. Hey, he gets into Phoenix next week, and he's got a car this good. Watch out. All right, so 25 laps to go. Christopher Bell has found his way to the top 5. Ryan Blaney has moved into 6th, so 1 extra playoff point up for grabs there. Ross Chastain still holds the final spot in the top 10 for 1 extra point, but Eric Almirola does appear to have a pretty good car behind him, so we'll have to make sure he holds it. 78 has a fire. I still show green. We got a yellow yet, or is he going to pit road? I don't see a caution yet. So if he's on fire, did he pit already? Yeah, he got to pit road. Okay. So no caution. He got to pit road safely, so this stage will continue. Looks like some rubber caught fire in the wheel well. So he'll go down to the end to pit road, and they'll get that fire put out. Hey, BJ McLeod, get in that number 8 car. Let's go! Let's get BJ in the 8. Another rocker box fire. Yeah, I mean, Harvick's crappy-ass parts. Happy Harvick. All right, so as they currently run, 20 to go in the stage. Hamlin's still just absolutely setting sail. He has now lapped Michael McDowell, so 15 cars now on the lead lap, and that means William Byron and Chase Briscoe are outside of the position for the free pass. So they are definitely going to have some work to do if they want to get any closer. But Denny Hamlin really doing a great job today. Just it seems like his car can make the passes in traffic. Because he's doing a great job of getting in high, cornering it, and then getting down the track and coming off low and getting a run on whoever he wants to put a lap on. All right, so 20 laps to go as they currently run. 5-second lead for Denny Hamlin. He is running away with this thing. 2-second gap between the second and third place cars of Larson and Elliott. Custer in 4th, Bell in 5th, and I think they're just showing Elliott going by Briscoe, who's a lap down. All right, so they'll collect their stage points here at the end of the stage. The battle between Blaney and the Blaney and Chastain battle still 20 points is the gap. So I could be wrong. I got to double check here, but I do think we've got. A chance here for Blaney, if Ross falls further back, to potentially have a shot to get their own points, but it's going to be tight. It's going to be really tight. Bowman on a pit box. Yeah, Bowman's out on the track. He's actually having some hot dogs today. So, yeah, he's at the track. He's on the box. And he's doing a hot dog counter. So he'll be back next week. Glad to see him come back for his home race. All right, so watching it as they run, Harrison Burton has just gone a lap down. So 13 cars is all that's left on the lead lap, with Kevin Harvick in the next to have his sights set with Denny Hamlin there. So very good for Denny Hamlin. I mean, if he has a bad pit stop or something, he's guaranteeing that he'll fall no further than 13th. Obviously, he would love to get all the way to the top 10 if he can, but it's going to be tough for him to get there. Grab my foot. I got a cat sleeping on my foot. Did you just come in from the field? Yeah. Yeah. The combine got scary. You didn't want to be in the cornfield with the combine. Oh, are we going to another commercial? There's only 15 laps to go. Bro, that's 5 minutes and we know there's a caution coming. Come on. Another commercial, man. This is bad. Like, I don't understand why they do this crap. Like, we know a caution's coming. We know that it's coming. Why are we doing this? All right, well, anyway, as they currently run, just keep an eye on it. Kevin Harvick, like I said, last car on the lead lap at the moment in 13th. Denny Hamlin's not made up a ton of ground on him in the last 3 to 4 laps, so I don't know that he's going to have time to get there. So I think as they run, it'll be 14 cars on the lead lap after the cycle or the stage end, as they currently run. Blaney has made his way to 6th, but hasn't been able to chase down Christopher Bell. So as they run, he would gain 4 points on Chastain. He's going to need bigger gains than that if he wants to get there by the end of the race, but he has effectively, with stage points, caught William Byron. Or not with stage points. With stage points and running position, he's caught William Byron. But we'll see once the end of the stage comes around. We'll have a little bit better idea. Yes, Moffat the cat is laying on my foot. He is just came back in from the outdoors. That's a good boy. Why don't you get you a spot up here on the desk so you can sit? Hmm? 'At least it's side by side, so we're not missing everything completely. All right, so watching it as they run, 20 to go in the stage. Denny Hamlin's not made up a ton of ground on him in the last 3 to 4 laps, so I don't know that he's going to have time to get there. 14 cars on the lead lap after the cycle or the stage end, as they currently run. Blaney has made his way to 6th, but hasn't been able to chase down Christopher Bell. So as they run, it'll be 14 cars on the lead lap after the stage end. So I think as they run, All right, so as they currently go, oh, there's a lap he's putting on Dylan. Dylan's already a lap down. This would be a second lap for Dylan. All right, so Hamlin on the back of Dylan. 10 laps to go in the stage. Oh, he'll have him this time by. Hamlin going to sail it in up there side by side. Turn it down the hill, and he'll get a great run off the corner. Like I said, I don't know if he'll have enough time to get to Harvick. Harvick is far enough in front. I think he'll be all right. And he also has another car in between them. All right, so Austin Cindric now trying to hold on to the lead lap. 5 to go in the stage. This time by. Hamlin going to go and get by Austin Cindric for another lap. And Harvick is the next car in front of him, so he is lapped up to the 13th position at the moment. Six to go in the stage as they currently run. Chastain looking like he may have a shot for 9th, especially if Suarez gives it to him. 5 to go, so we'll see. I think Chastain's going to get by Suarez. I would be surprised if they don't just give him that free point. I mean, I understand the whole team orders thing, but it's not that hard for Suarez if he wanted to, quote-unquote, make a mistake and slide up the hill. You know, I don't know. I wouldn't even be that... I don't know. The 100% rule is silly for that reason. I have problems with it for that exact reason. All right, so 4 laps to go. It is Denny Hamlin's to lose, and at this point, we're far enough in now that there isn't going to be a caution that anyone would pit and be able to make up any track position. This would end the stage from here. So as they run, current expectation is that we will see Blaney in the 6th spot. Looks like he's not going to have enough time to get all the way up to Christopher Bell. So yeah. Yeah, Noah's at Martinsville. He's driving the 48, though. Like, he's driving, so he's on the racetrack. All right, 2 to go. Hamlin looking at Harvick. 1 to go, and he is there. He's going to send it in on the high side. Turn it down. I don't think he's got enough to get there. Yeah, he's just going to let it roll. So Denny Hamlin will take the wins in both Stage 1 and 2. Free pass is going to go to Harrison Burton when they get back around. And then, there we go. Chase Elliott will be 2nd. Kyle Larson 3rd. Cole Custer, Christopher Bell 4th and 5th. Blaney 6th. Keselowski 7th. Logano 8th. Chastain does get that spot, so he gets up to 9th. And then Daniel Suarez in 10th. So... just like that, that extra point really helps there. But I need to get to Bob's point standings. These point standings over here on the right just don't seem to help. I don't think those are very good. Is Noah there? Yeah, we did that. Okay, can we get a Moffat the Cat face reveal at a stage break? I don't have a camera. Hamlin should be locked in. No, not even close. Hamlin's still got a ways to go. Don't get me wrong. He's definitely in a much better position with the points. All right, where's my Bob tweet? Bob says, okay, that's the end of the second stage. We know that. We're good there. Good gosh, 49-29. Heavens, Chicago. Do your defense even exist?
Hello, this is Missy from Ummy's, located in downtown Mankato with Ummy's daily food specials. Monday, $2 off large pizzas or flat.
Where is the Bob? I'm waiting for a Bob update so I can tell you exactly where our cut line is.
Double bacon cheeseburger and a side for
Yeah, I don't have a built-in camera on anything.
chicken dunker sandwich and
Like I said, I do on my phone because obviously I use that when I do certain ones. This one's on the PC and I just don't have a camera of any kind. So yeah.
family and friends. Ummy's is open 11 a.m. every day. Hope to see you soon at Ummy's.
He's made appearances, and he determines when those appearances are made. He'll just, if he's bored and doesn't want to go sit on a different side of the house or wherever he's at, he just decides to hop on up and walk right on in. That's just what cats do, you know. They like to be in the conversation. Ooh, that's cool. Somebody got the Noah Gregson Wendy's prototype. That's on Twitter.
Hi, I'm Cindy from Community Bank. If you're age 50 or better and looking for some fun social events and great banking services, look no further.
All right, still keeping an eye over here.
We enjoy planning fun events for our primetime members. Events have included plays, picnics.
All right, 20-18. So Chastain with only 4 points. Elliott gains 14 points on Chastain. That's a big deal. Blaney gets 8, but everyone in front of him gained more points than him. So, and with William Byron being trapped a lap down, it looks like it's Denny Hamlin's to lose at this point. Yeah, he's hopped in a few live streams too. Good grief, Denny Hamlin is just absolutely gone out front. All right, 4 tire stop for Denny Hamlin. Everything looks pretty darn smooth. Putting on the left sides now. Drop the jack. Waiting on fuel. Waiting on fuel. Waiting on fuel. And he goes. Right side's on for Elliott. Moving over to the left side. Waiting on the fuel. And Elliott will lose 1 spot to Kyle Larson there. So Larson gains 1 spot. Larson and Elliott will drop a point. Big gain there for Blaney, though. Up 2 spots for Blaney. That could pay dividends later in the race. Kozlowski dropping 2 as Bell also dropping 2. Should have been in a horror movie. I don't know about that. Excuse me. Need some more water. All right, score currently 26-28 Vikings. Late in the fourth, actually early in the fourth. They still got a ways to go. Panthers currently leading over the Falcons 28-24. Dallas really throwing it down on the Bears 49-29. 28-26 Vikings. 10-22 Patriots over the Jets at the moment, so the Jets not looking very good right now. Dolphins have gotten the lead in the Detroit game 31-27, and New Orleans up 24-0 on the Raiders. As it currently sits, Eagles up 35-13 as well.
officiated game. Some of the calls, the timing of the calls, and those kinds of things. But bottom line is, Paul, we're staring 3rd and 10 in the face.
All right, let's see here.
Like we need to breathe right here. That's our 8th penalty, man. We were averaging 4 a game. 11 and a half minutes to go. 28-26 Vikings. 3rd and 10 from their own 25.
All right, doing a recap here. Just double checking. Let's see here. Looks like they're going to... Yep, they're just doing a recap here. Waiting to get ready to go. I don't see any pit reports of any infractions. So right now there are 14 cars on the lead lap. I don't see anyone going to the rear except for Harrison Burton because he was a free pass. He will start at the back. So that part obviously is there as well. For that, go back to the stream. There we go. Oh, and the Cardinals just muffed a punt. Viking ball. Let's go. All right, we're still getting ready to line up. So this time by, they will do the choose route. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these cars. I mean, like I said, everyone thinks that the intermediate tracks were so great. I posted the 2011 Kansas race. Go back and look at it. That was a new Kansas racetrack. That was not even when it got wore out and fast and slippery. Go look at what that car raced like in Kansas back in 2011 and tell me that that's not better, you know? Oh, let's get that back, man. That was so good. All right, so it'll be Hamlin and Elliott on the inside, Larson and Blaney on the outside as they come to the green. Custer will be in 5th, and 6th will be Joey Logano. Now from here, there are 230 laps to go. So 115 laps if they decided to go in the middle. So 115 laps each run under green is completely normal. And like I said, that's where we're at in this final stage. I don't know that we're going to see a lot of yellows, so. Oh, great restart on the bottom. Hamlin gets away clean. Larson and Elliott now battling for 2nd. All right, Cole Custer moving up to the 4th spot. Look at Cole Custer having a great day. With all the adversity they're looking at going into next year with people, Tony Stewart wanting Ryan Preece in there, putting a good run together today. Good job for Cole Custer. To be fair, his crew chief got suspended. Oh, we do have a crash. Brad Keselowski has been spun. And after a great day, he's in 8th, and Chastain was on his inside. Chastain was to the inside of Keselowski, and I haven't seen a replay, so I'm just making an assumption. All right. Yep, it's Ross. Ross just goes in way too hard and absolutely, just dumps the hell out of him there. I hope he's all right. That was a pretty solid. He runs him clear up into the 3rd lane. My goodness, Ross. Boy, man, that's pretty darn aggressive. Like, it's one thing to bump into a guy, but he ran him clear up to the 3rd lane. All right, so coming around, they'll do another restart once they get things lined up. Yeah, I like I said, a little concerned for how he hit that wall. There was no give in that rear bumper. That rear bumper didn't even buckle.
Beautiful job by Adam Thielen running that underneath route. He's got enough separation. Great foot drag by Osborne. Nice play by this offense. 8-point lead. Need this bread. Snap spot. Oh, he hit the left upright and missed it. You think it's funny? He can't make it. Vikings lead 34-26 on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings Radio Network, driven by Polaris. Hey, Vikings fans, it's time to hear
Logano pitting, interesting. And Ross. Well, Logano, it kind of makes sense. 225 to go. You can stretch it a little further on fuel if you want to try and trap people a lap down. I don't think the tires are going to make a difference. So the only thing I can think is that, you know, you're only going to fall to 13th. You may as well give it a shot, but there's no laps on these tires. So not 100% sure on that one.
football fans everywhere.
Get a Hy-Vee Plus premium membership for just $99 a year
So Ross Chastain and Keselowski are literally going to start next to each other.
online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. For a limited time, get $50
Logano coming to pit road.
membership with code SAVEBIG.
Said fire? I don't think that's right. Joey on fire?
Plus membership with code SAVEBIG.
So listen up. Quick Trip is
Oh no, are we going to have fires on these tires?
new Ford F-150.
That would be bad late in this race to have a bunch of championship contenders get knocked out because of fires.
But Quick Trip with anywhere fully guaranteed gasolanes. Use your Quick Rewards card and you're entered. Weekly winners win a tip.
Oh, look at all the rubber coming out of there. That's concerning because we're only halfway into this race, guys. If this condition is a problem later on, I mean, you may see some fires, and I don't want. What if Hamlin has it? What if Hamlin has a big chunk of rubber buildup that catches fire and ends his race? Like, oh boy, we are setting up for. I'm sorry, guys, we might be setting up for Clown City. I mean, we're seeing the signs of it now. That's a little concerning. I wouldn't even mind NASCAR letting the teams come down and clean that rubber out just for safety. I mean, that's a lot of buildup, and I imagine that as the run continues and more cars are just, you know, dropping more and more rubber, I imagine that's not going to get better. That condition's probably going to get worse. Obviously, there's no way to tell for sure, but boy, that I'm not going to lie, that concerns me because we're only halfway into this race and we're starting to see fires. Like, what happens when we get further into this? Oh, this is concerning. Like I said, maybe we're fine. Maybe it's just one, but that concerns me because if all of a sudden a main contender, Hamlin, Elliott, Chastain, you know, Blaney, what happens if one of them has a fire? Not like this.
Joseph now 16 of 19 this year on extra points. He missed a 56-yard field goal right at halftime. It was blocked.
Yeah, it has mostly been forged. So I will say that's something that still a concern, but yeah, still a thing. By the way, big thing here, guys. I don't know if anyone noticed. William Byron got the free pass on that caution. William Byron is back on the lead lap, so don't overlook that. I almost didn't even notice. All of a sudden I see William Byron in the 15th spot. He is on the lead lap. So big news there.
It's like they give up some of the underneath areas, and then it's run after the catch right now that's killing us. I mean, they are keeping everything in front of them, but they're giving these receivers just way too much space underneath. Tyler back out of the shotgun. 1st and 10 from his own 36. Eno Benjamin to his left. 3 receivers right. Vikings rush 4. Tyler throws right. Knocked away nicely. Pat Peterson, wonderful.
All right, so they're showing the construction of the car to try and help prevent rubber from getting back there.
With this new guy, Robbie Anderson, on his first Cardinals sketch, and Peterson's like, nah, that ain't happening. Now, in the last 2 months, these Cardinals have made 3 trades. They brought in Cody Ford. They brought in Trayvon.
look at all the rubber in B.J. McLeod's. I mean, that was what his was. Oh, really sketchy restart there. All right, Hamlin looks like he is good and clear with the lead. Elliott clear to second. Larson and Custer battle for third. And Custer goes to third, but Larson's going to send it in deep. And so a little bump, but Custer holds on. So Cole Custer goes to third. Larson now to fourth, but with a run from Christopher Bell on the outside. Ryan Blaney has fallen to sixth, but is right in line with Larson. And he'll look to make a move on whoever ends up going in front. All right, so as they run, like I said, William Byron is back on the lead lap. Joey Logano must have had to go to the tail. He must have had to come back in and pit a second time. So Joey Logano also restarts at the tail with William Byron. And Ross Chastain is right next to Brad Keselowski. My, how things change. The more things change, the more they stay the same. All right, so 217 laps to go with a green flag pit stop cycle in the middle. Let me tell you guys, we could have a really interesting race if this continues. All right, Blaney now looking to the outside of Larson. Bell gets into fourth, so Bell is now clearing away with fourth. He is in a must-win, so keep an eye on him. Then we've got Blaney and Larson currently battling for the fifth spot. Yes, Harrison Burton in the top 10. He has kept his nose clean today, stayed out of trouble, and here he is, staying on the lead lap, does a lot. I mean, big shout out, Bubba Wallace in seventh. He's been just keeping his nose clean. Same deal. This feels like an old school NASCAR race from the stack of like, just keeping your nose clean and running on the lead lap will get you up into the top 10 by the end of the race because everyone else is going to start running into trouble. And that is what we're starting to see. All right. So Blaney goes away with fifth. Now Larson under fire from the seventh place running Bubba Wallace. All right, so yep, just as we run, this is the stage of the race like earlier. We just got to sit back and, I don't know, wait for the tires to wear out, I guess. 213 laps to go as they currently run. Christopher Bell has made his way to third. He has gotten by Cole Custer, so that 20 car is starting to come to the front. Here comes Christopher Bell. He may not be out of the playoffs yet. Suarez to the inside of Bubba Wallace. He's looking for the seventh spot.
This is the spot, this is the territory where you got to have an answer to that blitz. Second and 10, Cousins under center, Thielen in motion to the right, Galvin the tailback.
Huge chunks of rubbers, my goodness.
He collides with a Cardinal at the 37 and falls ahead to the 39. So that's a run of 4, making it 3rd and 6 with 5:45 and counting to go in the 7th game of the season. And the Vikings lead 34-26. And that was the same play that we saw earlier. They're trying to get Dalvin Cook one-on-one.
All right, trying to scroll through here and see if Bob has done this here.
On that last one, I would have had my money on Dalvin Cook to at least get by him and almost get that first down. Massive 3rd down, empty back.
All right, here we go. There's Bob's tweet. I was looking for that.
3 receivers right, 2 left. 3rd and 6. Cousins takes the snap.
Bubba, let's see here. Okay, so after stage 2 unofficial results, not including points based on the running position, Elliott has 24 on the cut line. Chastain has 18 on the cut line. Hamlin has 15 points over Byron. That is just related to stage points. So Byron now would have to outscore Denny Hamlin by 15 points to get in. Blaney down 25. Like I said, this is not even considering where they are running. So that is just based on stage points. You know, at this point, the only thing is Hamlin having 3 spots on Chastain. If Christopher Bell comes up and wins this race, it would be Bell, Logano, Hamlin, and Elliott in the final 4. So Those top 3 are in good shape, but Blaney's going to be in a must-win at this point. So everybody is must-win except for Hamlin, Elliott, and Chastain at this point. All right, so Bell, like I said, he's up to 3rd, and he's starting to catch 2nd. Gregson is still running the 48. Not next week. Next week it'll be Alex will be back. 204 laps to go. 40 laps into the stage. Pit stops could be anywhere between lap, oh golly, how do I even do the math here? Lap 430 would be about the latest. So you could pit anywhere from lap 360 to 430. Big 70 lap window to make it to the end. I assume most will try to pit around lap 415. Or sorry, not 415, 385. Lap 385 would be about dead even if they want to pull the pit strategy. But big 70 lap pit window, so a lot can happen in the middle there. So 202 laps to go. Oh my goodness, I may have to make my own pit stop, and I don't have a stage break now. All right, so looking at it right now, 202 laps to go. Denny Hamlin still running around out in front of the field. Gibbs in the 23. Yep, still in the 23. Like caught on fire? Who caught on fire? Alrighty. So 200 laps to go. Things look pretty chill right now. I'm going to make my pit stop now so I don't miss anything. I'd like to wait till commercial, but I don't really have a choice. So I'll be right back. Black flag, number 95, race craze. Okay. Not driving the wrong. Speeding on pit road. I made all the mistakes there. Hey, compared to the concussion side, I think, I don't want to be that guy that speculates, but I think Tyler Reddick's issue is a concussion. You know, said it got worse when he got bumped. So if he suddenly got a bump and it knocked his head around a little bit, that could very easily be the triggering effect of a previous concussion. So concerning, man. So under a full screen commercial at the moment. Let's see. Oregon's on the track. Holy crap, that's dark. Didn't do a blowover. No blowover. Okay. Now that we're back from commercial, Denny Hamlin still out front, setting the pace. About 0.7 of a second up on Chase Elliott. Christopher Bell third. Cole Custer fourth. Ryan Blaney fifth. Then Kyle Larson in sixth. With Suarez, Wallace, Almirola, and Burton rounding out your top 10. Ross Chastain has not gotten back to Brad Keselowski, so still running back in the 13th position. Now, at the moment, he's still in. So as long as Christopher Bell doesn't go win this race, that means that Ross Chastain will stay in. But at the moment, yeah, I don't know, man. I'd be nervous. All right, so as they run, also William Byron, lap time looking decent, but the problem for him at still the same problem, 15th position and the last car on the lead lap. So traffic, you know, another issue. .41.42. I don't know what you're talking about there. Ross is about to lap Kyle. I mean, Kyle Busch is just in trouble. It's not been very good. .184 laps to go. Like I said, we are getting close to the pit window. Pit window opens in about 25 laps. So around 160 to go, the window to make it to the end opens. That doesn't mean that's where it'll stay, but the window will open at that time. So the question you have to ask yourself here is... Crash. Okay, well, I'm behind. All right, yep. Looks like we got a caution in the 3 car. Let's see, who was it? Or how did it happen? I'm waiting. I'm delayed. Still waiting. Still waiting. The caution is coming out soon. Holy cow, how delayed is this? I need to find a better way to see this. Ooh, hard crash meaning a flat tire. Say a blown tire there. Unfortunately, there's no interliners, although I guess they didn't run interliners before either, so that's not new. Get the safety worker off the car. He's trying to drive away. Get him out of the way. They're just standing in front of his car. He can't move. If he wants to drive it back, let him drive it back. Good grief. Oh, I guess they're going to make him get out. Whatever. Whoa, looks like a brake issue there. Holy cow. Lost brakes. So that's what happened to Dylan. Lost his brakes and just absolutely could not make the corner. Not enough time to slow down. And was able, yeah, that's the hit that should get you done for the day. Like, he shouldn't be driving that after that. That's a pretty hard hit. Chase Briscoe is the free pass, ladies and gentlemen. So these little cautions that have crept up the last couple of last few laps. All right, all the leaders are in. All right, 4 tire stops are started. Christopher Bell, they're going to be around to the left side. Ryan Blaney, left sides are on. He's out, 9.9 seconds. Christopher Bell, 9.9 seconds. So very equal stops, but they are side by side exiting the pits here. All right, Elliott is in. Right side's on. Oh, slow stop for Denny Hamlin. He's coming out at least in 5th. Door wide open now if Chase can get a good stop here. They're going to fire it off, and he comes out in 2nd or 3rd. 3rd. Bell comes out with the lead. Christopher Bell in a must-win situation. Here he is. Denny Hamlin with a terrible stop puts him all the way back to 5th. Holy cow, guys. Christopher Bell, here he is. He's at the front, and he's ready to go win. Tyler is out with concussion-like symptoms. Okay, I was going to say the fact that a contact is what triggered it tells me he needs to be out probably next week as well. I think it should be a 10-day minimum concussions, but please, NASCAR, fix these cars. Safety should never be the issue that you have in a new car. All right, so Blaney comes out in the 2nd position. Couple of must-win guys on the front row when we go back to green with 175 laps to go. Just a quick note for everybody, 160 is the window. So can't quite make it to the end on fuel, but they can make it pretty darn close. Not a lot of tire fall off so far that we've seen. Let's see, Ross Chastain, 13th. So, like I said, points-wise, he had a 7-point gap going in, but he lost a lot of that now, so... Gen 5. Don't call it COT. Call it the Gen 5. Gen 5 right now.
Minnesota, welcome back. 4th and 3 from the Vikings 48, 2 minutes to go in the game. Arizona has no timeouts remaining. Big time punt here for the undrafted rookie Ryan Wright, Peter.
Yeah, it is. And for the Cardinals, a couple mistakes early made him burn some timeouts, and that's going to hurt him, I think, here.
Big rush, end over end punt by Wright. Bounces at the 16, 15, 14, 13, and rolls out of bounds at the 13. Effective. 1:52 to go in the game. First down for the Cardinals from their own 13. Now they're trailing by 8, and we're not here to lament or dwell. But Greg Joseph missed an extra point on the Vikings' most recent touchdown.
Whoa, Denny Hamlin almost pits. Gen 5 COT. All right.
Run down from behind by Zedarius, but then blasted by Kendricks at the 20. A run of 6 by Kyler. Once again, they can't stop the clock.
All right, so as they run, it's going to be Bell, Blaney, Elliott, and Hamlin ends up in 4th. So 4th, then Larson, and then Custer. All right, are we lining up yet? I can't tell. All right, just so you guys know, William Byron now gets to line up with everybody else. He's into the top 15 now. Also taking a look, let's see, what do we got here? 322, 180 to go. Yeah, they can't make it on fuel. They're still about 20 laps short on making it on fuel. Man, I don't know. If you're William Byron, do you try to stretch it 13 laps on fuel? Do you, or Chase Briscoe for that matter? Do you come back in and top that thing all the way off and try to save 13 laps of fuel? I mean, if you coast around some corners, you could save 13 laps of fuel over the course of 100 and some laps. It might be worth it. Yeah, 172 to go. They'll go green with about 170. I mean, I don't know. It might be worth it, you know? I might take that opportunity. There might be a chance. So Elliott has 10 points on Hamlin as they run. Chastain is 6 points out at the moment from Denny Hamlin. That's if either of these two win. I don't know, man. This format is just, ugh, you know. All right, back to green. Christopher Bell away with a good start. Little bit of a weak start for Ryan Blaney. All right, so the 20 gets away clean with the lead. Meanwhile, the battle for second going to be Elliott and Blaney. All right, looks like Elliott will end up getting the second spot, and Hamlin going to fall to 5th. All right, so Elliott cleared a second. Hamlin is back to 5th. So Denny Hamlin going to have to come from 5th to 1st if he wants to prevent his teammate from winning, but also as Chastain comes forward, that could be dangerous. I mean, Chastain's only 5 points out from Hamlin. Even with the great day Hamlin's had, it may not be enough. 168 laps. So the question is, are these guys going to try and make it on fuel? Oh, Keselowski and Chastain. Chastain's going to wish he hadn't dumped him earlier because he's not going to give him a lot of room. Get them likes up? Yeah, let's do that. So Bell away with the lead. Elliott, Blaney, Larson, Hamlin in the top 5 at the moment. Currently showing the battle between Chastain and Keselowski, and Chastain's having to give Keselowski a lot of room because he pretty much straight up dumped him earlier. Let me get some more water here. Alrighty. Looks like Keselowski looking to the inside. He locks it up, trying to get on the inside of Harvick.
We're down to 13. Bikes lead by 8. We're all the way back to the 44. Kyler back to pass, bouncing around. 7 seconds, nearly sacked again. Now he stumbles like he's punch drunk, and the Minnesota Vikings are going to leave fans intoxicatingly happy.
All right. Just so you know, I was really quiet the last couple minutes listening to the end of the Vikings game. Of course, they couldn't leave us a nice, easy game. They had to bring it down to the wire. Again, by the way. Again, we had to go to a heart-stopping game. Should have been out of reach, but, you know, that's Vikings for you. All right, but the Vikings win over the Cardinals, so back to full NASCAR coverage. All focused back to the race now. Okay, Christopher Bell out front, 1.1 seconds. 1.6 back to Ryan Blaney. Then it's Larson, Hamlin, Custer, Suarez, Bubba Wallace, Eric Almirola, and Joey Logano in the top 10. William Byron in 14th, Ross Chastain 13th. Like I said, as they currently run, Chastain needs 5 points to catch Hamlin. He now needs 6. Hamlin gets by Larson, so he'll need 6 points to catch him. And Suarez is going to get by Custer. So Suarez moves into the 6th spot. Great run today for Daniel Suarez. Just keeping himself out of trouble and staying in the hunt. All right, so Hamlin is up to the 4th spot. 158 to go. Question is anyone going to try and stretch it on fuel? Alrighty. Trying to see if anyone else is trying to save. Alright, so 6-point gap. Trying to see if anyone is trying to save the fuel. Yeah, I don't see anything about anyone that's specifically trying to, Yeah, I don't see anything about anyone who's specifically trying to go make it the distance on fuel. Another full-screen commercial, sadly. Oh, excuse me. Throat's getting dry. Too much talking. Need more water. All right. Let's see here. So, yeah, Denny Hamlin in by 6 at the moment. Chastain now looking at the back bumper of Kevin Harvick to try and get another spot. Still a long, long way to go. We're still 153 laps away. So, long way to go here. But in that 153 laps, a lot can happen. Let's see. Getting bored? Well, if they would stop throwing everything to commercial constantly, we might not be bored. But, yeah, they keep going to commercial. Yeah, I mean, look, there's other ways to make that TV contract worth money. One of them is just adding more viewers and helping add more viewers by having less commercials as an option. Look at F1. F1's been doing terrific with Sky Sports because they're approaching it completely different. All right, so as they currently run, you got to remember, too, guys, as they run, the owner's championship is different from the driver's. There are 2 cars locked in on the owner's side. So as they currently run, Denny Hamlin and Ross Chastain would be out of the owner's championship. I love Martinsville. They do not need to make a 500-lap race. Yes, they do. They need a long, drawn-out race. The problem is we just need to have a lack of stage cautions, because then the race is a marathon. That's how these races are supposed to be. They're supposed to be short-track marathons with live pit stops, where we haven't seen green flag stops all day because the stages are literally not long enough to hit fuel windows. And so that's part of the issue. Is Elliott in the Owners' Championship still? Yes. So if Elliott is the highest on points, he will be in on the owner's side. Basically, if there's a new winner, Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, then it will only be one guy on points. So whoever's top on points would make it. All right, as they currently run, Bell starting to put some distance on Elliott, who's got another second on Brian Blaney, and Blaney looking at company now in fourth with Denny Hamlin. Okay, I'm going to turn that down. So Ryan Blaney in the third spot, Denny Hamlin starting to close in on him. Bubba Wallace in eighth, Almirola in ninth. And I should shout them out. Suarez and Custer, 6th and 7th. Good runs for all those guys today. They've done a really nice job. The only driver not in is Ryan Blaney. So if Ryan Blaney wins, then everything gets crazy. Yeah, Denny's starting to come forward. But like I said, Christopher Bell winning could be huge. 140 laps to go. Like I said, I'm still trying to see if anyone's going to try and stretch the fuel on this, because they were close. Ross Chastain fans are going to need to start rooting for Elliott and Hamlin. Boy, how the tables have turned. Those tables turned like really quickly. 140 to go. Tons of time left. All right. All right, Chase Briscoe on the lead lap. Actually looking at 15th place, Harrison Burton now. So starting to make some group. Or, sorry, not group. He's starting to make up some ground. Kyle Busch is 15 laps down, 100%. I'm just hoping we don't get to utter chaos here late in this race. We really don't need to see a late race desperation move out of, Bell or Blaney take out Hamlin or Elliott. Like, that's just an ugly look, So hopefully we keep it where the drivers race the race out. The only thing I don't want to see is guys getting taken out by stupid moves. Let's just not have that going down the stretch and we'll be good. 137 to go. Still Bell out in front. Then it's Elliott, Blaney, Hamlin, and Larson. Interesting. Okay, so they're talking about trying to save fuel now. All right, so they're talking about trying to save about 7 laps of fuel. And as they're trying to do that, they do have a long time to do it. So 130 laps left. They can easily save that 7 laps. However, to do so, it's going to take a lack of downshifting. You don't want to downshift. You want to try and coast the corner when you can. Like, all those little tricks are what you want to do to save fuel. And the question is, who's going to be able to save enough? At the end of the day, I think it's too risky to have to pit. You can end up 2 laps down. Like, it's too risky to pit. I think you have to try and save, especially if you're one of the guys out front. If you're out front right now, perfect time to just roll your corners and take your sweet time. Oh boy, who is this? Todd Gilliland just absolutely stuffed it in there 3 wide. Chase Elliott's going to go around them both on the inside, but that was kind of an ugly look because Todd Gilliland and Landon Castle were side by side, absolutely stacking up the field. And there are a giant gaggle of cars right there. Meanwhile, Christopher Bell is gone. He's out to a 3-second lead now due to that battle. Yeah, I have questions about what Kyle Busch's car is doing right now, because why is Kyle Busch's car so bad? Like, I'm sorry, Kyle Busch's car has failed him more often than he's failed himself in the playoffs. Why is Kyle Busch's car failing him constantly? That's something to me that just, something's wrong, All right. Now they're starting to get things worked around here. Todd Gilliland getting a little bump from Ryan Blaney to get off the bottom. Ryan Blaney says, I need to get through here. Excuse me, pardon me. And he's going to break it down into the corner and make it really stick. Here comes Hamlin, going to send it in with. Ooh, tight center of the corner for Hamlin. All right, so 127 laps to go. Kyle in 32nd, many laps down. Just bad day so far for him. Trying to keep an eye on Christopher Bell out in front as the laps tick away. That's the thing. I don't normally say, like, oh, car owners wouldn't just give their guys crappy parts. But it's like, dude, Kyle Busch's car has literally just been trashed the last few weeks. It's like, what are you running? A show car? All right, Joey Logano now making a move on the inside. That's just lapping again, though. He's currently running in the 10th position. Ross Chastain still in 13th, has not been able to make up any spots. He still needs 6 spots to catch Hamlin. So Ross Chastain has to get to 7th position if he wants to tie Denny Hamlin and make it in on points. $124 laps to go. All right, Chastain making put another lap on Justin Haley as they currently go. Radioactive should be interesting. I'm interested to see how Kyle Busch is reacting. He may have just mentally given up. But Kyle Busch doesn't quit on the car. I just think today he might just be saying, wow, this is horrible. And I would not be surprised they get an earful. But Kyle Busch, he doesn't just quit. He leaves it all out on the track, and then, he'll complain about it, though, later. You'll know about it. Ross is saying he's got handling issues. I mean, part of it is he's just back in traffic. He's pretty far back there. I mean, back in like 13th spot. A lot of traffic in front of him. And as these cars start to get lapped, I mean, we've got more and more. Brexton has a scanner. I'm sure he's heard it all before. 119 to go. He said, I'm very interested to see how many people and how much fuel they're saving. It's very, like, this is something the broadcast should be touching on just a little bit more, because it's like, who's actually trying to stretch it? Because if, there might be somebody like Bell, he might be just going full bore, like, hey, we ain't going to make it, we're just going to go. But they're 60 laps in. Oh, it's 160 laps, though. 60 laps to go, 118. Oh, yeah, no, they're certainly not going to make it on fuel. I thought they had more. $160 laps. Yeah, no, they definitely can't make it on fuel. I thought they only had to save 7 laps. Looks like they got to save about 17 laps. So 17 laps, they ain't saving that. Okay, apparently the 10 is good to go. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. Oh, Brad Keselowski, he's going to try and stretch it. I think Brad's got a best shot of any. If someone's going to stretch it, Brad's going to be the one. $114 to go. We got some strategy heating up. $111 laps to go. Can you read the previous chat? Radioactive this week, like Kyle Busch, I bleep, sick of the bleep. Yeah, no, it'll be a lot of Morse code. Oh, we got a crash. Yaley, okay. Well, that changes everything, because now they should be able to make it on fuel. They should be able to save under the yellow here. All right. Do you stay out or pit? All right, let's see what we got, guys. 107 to go. I'm telling you, if I'm a guy like Chase Briscoe, I'm staying out here. You're not going to drive past the whole field. You may as well go to the front and hope for the best, I mean, if you're William Byron, you can't pass everybody. Stay out. Save your fuel. Hope for the best. Oh, LaJoie just punts him. LaJoie just sent him there. Didn't hit the wall, though. Good job. Yeah, everybody should pit. Except, like I said, the guys I would trust, Briscoe, take a shot. Go for it. Like, let's see what we got. Oh, boy, this is making me nervous, man. Do you go 2 tires? Yeah, there's so many options strategy-wise to get yourself out front. William Byron could try a 2-tire stop. Tire fall off is enough, but I mean, if you're Chase Briscoe, what do you have to lose? You're 16th. You're the last car on the lead lap. You are not going to pass everybody. Unless you think you can 2-tire it and still get the lead, but I just think you're not going to have the ability to just, drive past everybody. If you don't have that good a car, your best shot is going to be to take the track position. All right, they are on pit road. Let's see, everybody in. I don't see Briscoe yet, but I can't see the back of the half of the lead lap here. Burton, I didn't see. I think Briscoe may have stayed out. Nope, he's in there. Everybody in. All right, everybody in. Looks like right sides are on. They're heading over to the left side. 4 tires and fuel for Blaney and Bell. 9.9, 10.5 for Bell and Blaney. All right, coming off pit road, it'll be Bell, Blaney, Elliott. So 2 must-win guys. Oh, Hamlin drops another 2 spots. No 2 tires. I'm actually very surprised we didn't get any strategy there. I mean, like I said, if I'm William Byron, Byron can. Byron's out on points too, though. Yeah, if I was Byron or Briscoe, I'm staying out there, or at least trying something. You're 100 laps to go. How else are you going to get to the front? I'm genuinely curious to see what they could have done. So Hamlin loses 2 more spots. I think that might be it. I don't know that Hamlin's got enough time to get back to the front. This is going to be the shortest run of the day in terms of, when the finish is coming up. So Bubba Wallace has driven himself into a top 5 spot. Well done there. And Ross Chastain is 11th. So Ross Chastain going up 2 spots, Hamlin going back 2 spots. That gap is now down to 2 points. 2 points is the gap between Hamlin and Chastain. Holy cow. Oh, yeah, if you're Blaney, you got to be aggressive. I mean, you got to go and you got to just try and get after him any way you can. Next caution, you might see strategy. Maybe, but it is Martinsville. 100 laps, you're good on fuel, you're good to go to the end. So the question is, from starting right now, how do you get to the end of this race? I mean, I imagine if you're anyone in the top 5, you're done pitting. I'm never coming back to pit road. It's too risky to go back on pit strategy. You don't want to start back there, so. So Blaney passed Elliott getting into his pit box, which isn't a big deal. The problem I have is I think it was 2017 they penalized Martin Truex Jr. for that. He did the same thing. He hooked left and went into his pit box, and they black flagged him. So unless they change the rule. If they change the rule, I have no problem with it. But if that's something where NASCAR just picks and chooses when to apply that rule, I don't know. But, I mean, it's what he's doing is taking advantage of timing loops, which is a good thing to do if you're Ryan Blaney. But I'm telling you, NASCAR picks and chooses when they do those rules sometimes, because I remember Martin Truex getting black flag for that, and he's like, everyone does it, and just him. So hopefully that's something that maybe they addressed in the rule book and is no longer an issue. $100 to go when they get started here. Hey, welcome back, NASCAR Bros. Okay, 100 to go. It's going to be Bell, Blaney, and Elliott out front. All those front two guys are must win if they want to get to the championship four. It's must win for Bell and Blaney. Alrighty, so getting ready to come back to the choose line. Let's see what we got. Yeah, Byron is currently running in the 12th position, but like I said, I thought with him and Briscoe we might have seen some strategy, because it just seems like strategy would have been their best shot to get to the, get some track position. So I don't know. I wish Byron and Briscoe were more aggressive on the strategy. Like, go after it. Try to win this thing. I just don't think they have time to pass everybody. And they certainly haven't shown a fast enough car to pass everyone either. So I don't know about that one. Like I said, if I'm someone out front, I think I'm done pitting right now. All right, getting ready to come to the green flag. All right, Bell will take the bottom, Blaney top, Elliott bottom, Larson top, Bubba top, Hamlin bottom. I don't know if that was some team help there, but every other person, it's been top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. But Bubba gave Hamlin the bottom lane. Interesting. All right, gonna get ready to come to the green. Can Byron make it without a win? No, he must win now. If chaos ensues, maybe, but that would take like a crash. So, without a crash, it's gonna be must win for Byron. All right, the 12 stays on the outside, side by side for the lead. No, he'll back it off. Blaney now to second. So Hamlin gets up to 5th. Bubba to the inside of Logano, that's for 6th. Chastain kind of getting bottled up there on the bottom. It's now back to a 6-point gap. He did not get a great restart there. As they run, Bell, Blaney must win, then Elliott, Larson, Hamlin. Hamlin is in by 6 points as they run. That's with a new winner. So if a new winner, if Bell doesn't end up winning this race, you will see a little bit of a difference in points. Bell would drop out, Hamlin would move up, and Chastain would be on the cut line. Oh, we got a tire rub there. Chastain got pretty heavily into the back of the 14. Saw a lot of smoke on there, so the 1 battling with the 14 for 13th. 6 points is still the gap. Briscoe gets back in line. Out front, still, Bell, Blaney, Elliott, Larson, Hamlin. Blaney trying to close on Bell. 93 laps to go. Still a long way to go in this one. Chastain on the back bumper of Briscoe, but he still needs 6 more points. Blaney is sticking with Bell. Bell is not getting away. All right, 91 laps to go. It's Bell and Blaney. Elliott has a gap back to Larson, so there's a little bit of a gap in there. No worries on fuel after that last caution. It will be a straight-up run to the finish with 90 laps to go. Ross Chastain now looking to the inside of Kevin Harvick. That is for the 13th position. Going to keep it rolling on the bottom. That will put him within 5 points. 5 points. So Chastain gets that spot. 5 points is the gap. Hamlin needs to go forward if he wants to keep that protected, but Chastain still has to gain 5 more spots before it's a problem. All right, Blaney trying to close up on Christopher Bell. We're going to another commercial. Really? Can we not commercial everything nonstop? Good grief. Holy cow. These ads are getting a little obnoxious. All right. Side by side for another commercial. Just annoying that we have another one. All right, well, as they currently run, still single filed out. Nothing too crazy going on. Chase Briscoe has worked his way to 11th. He has actually shown some pretty good speed, and he is getting really aggressive. So Chase Briscoe really working on trying to get to the front. All right, as they run, still the same old story. No changes yet. Still waiting on these tires to wear out a little bit. Only 100 laps on this run, though, so going to be one of the shorter runs of the day. All right, still a 0.5 of a second gap between Bell and Blaney. Those two are must-win position. They must win. Chastain to 13th. He's catching up to Almirola. That's his next target. Then he has to get to Briscoe. Meanwhile, Briscoe has gotten to Byron, trying to make the move. That's for the 10th position. And looks like he's going to get there. Byron going to miss the corner, go high, and Briscoe rolls the bottom. At least I thought he missed the corner. Yeah, it looks like he just chose the outside. So Byron goes to the outside, blow up Briscoe to the bottom. And that'll put Chase Briscoe up into the top 10. 9th position, Cole Custer is next on that list. I imagine Cole will cut him a break when that time comes around. I mean, he cut him a break last time. Maybe he'll have a flat tire. maybe he'll have a flat tire. Christopher Bell up to a 0.7 of a second lead. Man, there's a long commercial break. not 60 to go, is it? It is. No, 80 to go. 80 to go. I don't know why I couldn't read that. 80 laps to go. Oh my goodness. This is shaping up to be really something. 5 points is the difference. Hamlin stalking Kyle Larson. Chastain stalking Eric Almirola. Almirola has dropped about 2 seconds behind Byron, though, so he's going to need to get past him and start making up that ground. Briscoe is up to 10th. All right, 77 laps to go. Can Bell or Blaney win themselves into the championship 4? Byron now caught up to Chase Briscoe. Briscoe trying to get around teammate Cole Custer. $74 to go. One second, the gap back to Blaney. Another second back to Elliott at the moment. Yeah, we don't speak of Ty. Not like that. And also, he didn't move him. He wrecked him. There's a big difference. He didn't just move him. He wrecked him. Boo. He gave a little love tap. I don't know. He buckled the hood on his own car. That's more than a tap. Especially at race speeds. Blaney starting to close back in on Bell. Traffic will be the big decider here. Oh, they are going to show it. Here we go. I mean, he was a half a car length back and just, I mean, he buckled his own hood. That's a hard hit. Let's see, Elliott, Hamlin, how many more of them? No. Show me how many more have done that. How many more of them have punted their teammates while locked into the championship 4? I have never seen anyone else do that. Like, we saw Hamlin do it to Elliott in 2017. And even that wasn't even as hard a hit. Still a hit, but, you know, comparatively, yesterday's hit was probably the hardest dump and win we've had. Win is not a win. I mean, yeah, he got the trophy. Don't get me wrong, but he may have cost himself a championship because he's not getting any breaks next weekend. You know, he's going to go to Phoenix, and every car he has to pass or lap, they are going to be a pain to him because they don't respect that move. Look, you can't make all enemies. You don't want to have to fight the whole field. It's a lot easier when you got some friends that'll let you go when you're faster than them. Logano learned that the hard way. And I don't know if he ever really learned it either because, you know, he still does that kind of stuff. All right, Christopher Bell closing in on some lap traffic. Ryan Blaney starting to close in on Christopher Bell. I don't know. I think Ty is going to have... I mean, he's literally going to have to fight his own teammate next week. His teammate ain't giving him any breaks next week. It's not just 3 versus 1. It's like 5. You know, Sam Mayer isn't cutting him any breaks. Brandon Jones ain't going to cut him a break. Like, Heck, if I saw retaliation, I wouldn't even be complaining. You know? Eye for an eye, as they say. You cost Brandon Jones a chance at the championship he can cost you a chance at your championship. Because, you know, that's what happens. You wreck someone, they wreck you back. Doesn't have to be a right hook. It can just be drive in too hard and, oops, I punted him. My bad. I'd send him. I mean, you deserve to have respect from your teammates, especially when you're racing for something so big. All right, 60 laps to go. Bell out front by 1 second over Ryan Blaney. Lap traffic is starting to become a factor. Leader, contact with Cindric? Oh, yeah. We got tough racing going on here. Blaney's closing. I imagine Cindric will get out of Blaney's way. He's enough laps down. It's like, you may as well just get on out of the way there, Cindric. All right. Bell now to the inside. Meanwhile, Chastain makes a move on Almirola. That puts Almirola back to the 10th spot. Sorry, the 12th spot. 13th. Ugh, can't speak. 4 points. 4 points is the gap. Chastain needs to get 4 more spots. Problem is, that's 5 seconds of track time he's got to make up. That lead pack has gotten really close together once again. I mean, Ryan Blaney is there. 55 to go. Blaney is there. So it's Bell and Blaney, then back behind them, Elliott currently trying to lap Cindric. So the front two scooching away. It's a 2-car battle for the lead. 3rd, 4th, and 5th in a nice tight bubble, so Hamlin has 2 spots in front of him if he needs them. Currently 4 points the gap with 53 laps to go. Ross Chastain, 2 full seconds behind William Byron. He has to run William Byron down from 2 seconds back. Chastain has a lot of ground to make up. 52 to go. $51 to go. Currently out front, it's Bell and Blaney. Then it's a 3-car battle for 3rd with Elliott, Larson, and Hamlin. Chastain has made his way up into the top 12, but he's got 2 seconds to run down William Byron. So he's got a long way to go if he's going to catch William Byron to get that next point he needs. Denny Hamlin, no pressure from behind. He's got 2.5 seconds back to Bubba. But Blaney is coming. It's going to come down to Bell and Blaney. I assume. I'm assuming no one else is coming for it, but we don't know. Great battle for the lead with 50 to go. All right, we got side-by-side lap cars in front of the leader. Oh, goodness. We're going to go to another commercial. Well, at least it's side-by-side, but still not acceptable. Oh, I hope we don't have an entertainment caution. I hope this race runs out. I really don't want to see Chastain on desperation mode. You know, I just don't want to see that. I don't know if Elliott's got quite as good a car, especially over the course of a run. Yeah, let's not have an entertainment caution, please. That would be greatly appreciated if we could just run this out normally. All right, Bell's starting to scooch back away from Blaney. 50 to go. Yeah, Christmas commercials in October is kind of ridiculous. They used to wait till after Halloween. Now they just say, screw it, let's advertise as early as possible, I guess. All right, so Christopher Bell starting to put a little gap on Ryan Blaney, up to 0.7 of a second. All right, 40 to go. We're in the home stretch. As they run, 4 points the gap. Ross Chastain has closed the gap on William Byron. It's down to 1.3 seconds. He still needs 4 more spots after that, though. $40 to go. Here we go. It's Bell, it's Blaney, and it's Elliott in the top 3. In the points, it would be Elliott, Logano, Bell with the win, and Denny Hamlin as they run currently. All right, keeping an eye on everything. Blaney's starting to fall back. Meanwhile, Ross Chastain starting to close that gap down on William Byron. 38 to go. When do we start calling Bell the closer? I have no idea. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to call him the closer at the Roval. I mean, yeah, he got tires, but like that caution was a total, you know, ish show. So I don't know if I claim that one. Oh, you spoiled it for me. 77 going to create a caution, apparently. Let's see who he gets. Or if it's just him. I see too many people saying yellow. That tells me there's a wreck. Yep, there it is. Scoring monitor says wreck. Looks like everybody in the top 10 still rolling good. Remember, 17 cars on the lead lap. 35 to go. What do you do here? Do you pit? Looks like another rotor issue. All right, they're going to have to tow him off. I'm going to take my pit stop now so I don't miss anything else. Looks like Landon Castle got a brake rotor on fire, so I'm going to be right back, and then we will be back for pit stops, if there are any, and the final 30 laps of the race. And there's only 30 laps. All right, guys. Here we go. It's crunch time. What do you do? 31 laps to go. Everyone's coming. Except for Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe is going to use the strategy. I love the call. So a couple of cars stay out. I mean, do you go for 2 or 4? Now that's the question. Good stop on the Blaney car. It looks like Byron might have taken 2 tires, though. Byron with a great call on pit strategy, taking the 2 tires. Brad Keselowski going to take 2 tires. Oh, boy. And Denny Hamlin lost a lot of ground, including to Ross Chastain. Oh, boy. The 11 will start right behind the 1. Oh, my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. This is about to go, unfortunately, probably the clown show. We will see. Larson, Keselowski, Byron, I believe all took 2 tires. Then it was Bell, Blaney, Elliott on the 4. And boy, 2 tires. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, this is about to get absolutely wild. The cars that stayed out will stack everything up. I don't know what's going to happen, to be honest. I have no idea what to expect. Please do not have a bunch of people getting wrecked late in this race. Well, we all know if the 11 needs a spot on the 1, he'll do it. Holy cow. Current running order. Briscoe, Custer, Larson, Keselowski, Byron, all on 2 tires. I should say 2 tires from Larson to Byron. Then on 4 tires, it'll be Bell, Blaney, Elliott, and Logano. Then Bubba Wallace in 10th, Chastain 11th, Hamlin in 12th. Holy cow. Denny Hamlin's pit crew may have just cost him a shot in the championship 4. 28 to go. And Chase Briscoe might be looking at a championship 4 appearance. Holy cow. I don't even know what to say. Is Chase Briscoe about to pull one of the greatest upsets to get into the championship 4? Because we're not talking about just him making the Final 4. We're talking about a driver who was the equivalent of an 18th or 19th place car all year long. Got to win early and has just snuck through the rounds little by little. All right. There was over a half a second of fall off over that run. Also, Hamlin had to finish 2 spots in front of Chastain. Yes, there was a lot of fall off, but here's my point. The fall off isn't what I'm concerned about. What concerns me is the fact that the cars in front now have clean air. Because clean air matters a lot. Chase Briscoe looks like he has a left rear flat. Oh my goodness. Let's line them up. It's nervous time. It is freaking nervous time. I didn't think he was going to win when he was a lap down, but here comes the cautions. I thought, however, I said whoever stays out has a shot to win this. And so, I don't know. I can't even tell you how nervous I am. Briscoe is in. Chastain is in. Hamlin is out going into next week. All right, looks like Briscoe will take the bottom. Custer top. Larson bottom. Keselowski top. Byron bottom. Bell top. Blaney bottom. Elliott top. All right. Chastain takes the bottom, and Hamlin on the outside. They are side by side. Coming back to the green flag with 25 laps to go. Green flag is in the air. Briscoe with the jump. Custer behind. Side by side as they head into turn 1. Custer with a good start. But Briscoe will roll away with the lead. Briscoe gets it back in line. Meanwhile, Keselowski and Larson battle for third. Bell has cleared. Meanwhile, you have Blaney on the bottom. Byron on the outside. Keselowski going to look to the high side. Christopher Bell on the 4 tires. He's to 5th. Larson side by side with Keselowski. Briscoe away in front. I told you guys, staying out. Oh, Hamlin's going to get punted. Chastain just punted Denny Hamlin. Oh, we've got contact on the backstretch. Oh, Chastain's going to wall him. He puts him in the fence. Oh, Denny Hamlin is not thrilled with that move. 20 laps to go. Denny Hamlin now clear. Holy chaos. Meanwhile, it is still Briscoe and Custer out front. I'm telling you guys, pit strategy is the way to go. It was all about track position. I can't believe nobody else took that shot. It worked out for every car involved so far. Every single one of them ended up better so far. Hamlin needs 2 spots. Actually, he needs 3. He needs to break the tiebreaker. NBC. All right, the 11 has got to the 9. Well, 11's going to get clear and gone. Oh, contact between Bell and Larson. Meanwhile, Blaney's still right behind both of them. Blaney in 6th, looking on for both of them. 15 to go. Denny looking at the inside. He's got Bubba now. 1 point is the gap. Briscoe ran the fastest lap on the track last time by. Now they're tied. Oh, there's Byron. Hamlin is tied. He's looking at Logano. 13 to go. $12 to go. Hamlin looking at Logano. Got to run. Meanwhile, Keselowski to second. Second back. Here comes the 11. He's to the inside. $11 to go. $11 will get clear of the 22. Hamlin is clear, so Hamlin gets a spot. He's in by 1. Meanwhile, Keselowski chasing down Briscoe. It's down to half a second. 9 laps to go. Holy cow, look at this battle. Keselowski has caught Briscoe for the lead. Meanwhile, Chastain under fire from Harrison Burton. If Chastain tries a desperate move at the end, he could end up getting into Elliott, which would cost Elliott the chance to move on. Bell looking to the outside now. He's going for the must-win. Oh, Keselowski going to run him up the hill there. But the 4 tires are looking better. Bell looking for the lead. Meanwhile, Hamlin to the inside of Custer now, adding another point. Here comes Hamlin to the back of Byron now. 6 to go. Bell is almost there. Both of them in a must-win situation. Coming around to 5 to go. Oh, he's going to send Briscoe. Briscoe's going to pinch him down. There's a lot of contact. And Bell goes to the lead on 4 tires. Oh, big contact to the back of the 6. He gets shuffled up the track. Chastain, big contact to the back of the 9. Elliott, good job. Stay to the top. Make Chastain pass you on the bottom. Don't let him punt you. Yeah, let him go. Briscoe now getting passed, so it's up to Bell. 4 to go. Chastain is back in as they run. 3 to go. Hamlin to the inside. He's going to give a shot to the 24. He'll take that spot now. Denny Hamlin back in on points. 1 point the gap with 2 laps to go. Chastain has no time to get to the front of the field. Coming around 3 and 4 to the white flag for Christopher Bell. Bell to the white flag. Hamlin to the white flag. Now Chastain at the white flag. It's 2 points. Chastain is not close enough to catch anyone. There's not enough time to catch him. Ross Chastain is pulling the video game move. It's going to work. Chastain just got in on a video game move. Are you serious? What was that? Chastain is in. Oh my goodness. That is such a stupid way to win a race. I'm sorry. Ross Chastain just video gamed that and won. Oh my heavens. I'm sorry, that is a problem. What in the world? I don't know what to say. This is how NASCAR's gonna crown champions? Oh my word. Ross Chastain to the championship 4, getting screwed by, frankly, just Martinsville. I mean, he destroyed the car, and it doesn't matter. He gained 5 spots in 1 corner. Oh my heavens. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Ross Chastain literally just, full send. Hamlin he didn't quite get the spot from Keselowski. He needed it. Are you serious? That is so insane. That's so sketchy, and I don't know what to say. Are you kidding me? That is the craziest move I've ever seen. My gosh. Oh no. We now know that is something guys can do to win races now, guys. Martinsville is about to get crazy. I can't believe it for Denny. Are you serious? I don't know what to say. I've never seen anything like that. That is not just a video game move. That is the craziest speed difference. That literally looked like a video game. He just didn't lift. He sent it so hard, and he gained 5 spots in 1 corner. I've never seen that. He beat Hamlin by 4 points. Are you kidding me? I've never seen anything like that. And Elliott is out of the championship 4, guys. Chase Elliott is out of the championship 4 on the driver's side, or on the owner's side. The 9 car is out for the championship. So the 1, the 20, and the 22 are in, and the 9 is out. He will not race for an owner's title. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Unfortunately, I think we've just guaranteed we're going to have playoffs for the rest of eternity because of how crazy that was, but it feels a little empty, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, Elliott can still win a driver's title, but yeah, I mean, the fact that the owner's title is gone. I mean, look at that. He literally just passed 5 cars. He went from 10th position to 5th. He ran an 18.8 on that last lap. That was 2.5 seconds faster. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to say. That is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Christopher Bell just won his way into the championship 4. I can't believe Denny's out. I just can't believe it after the day he had. I mean, wow. I mean, it's I think somebody just unlocked a cheat code right there, guys. That's all I can say. I mean, holy cow, what are we supposed to say about that? Holy cow. So Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, and Ross Chastain will race for the owner's title next week. It will be Bell, Logano, Chastain, and Elliott running for the title in the Drivers' Championship. Denny's pit crew lets him down again. I mean, what are we supposed to say? Like, that's how you get into the championship 4. I don't even know what to say. Like, there's a certain element of, like, just YOLO in it, but holy cow, I've never seen anything quite that crazy before. Wow. I'm sorry for you Hamlin fans. That's gotta sting because it feels like it was robbed of you, you know? And I totally get it. It feels like you got robbed. And, you know, Briscoe ends up in 10th. Good call trying the strategy there. Was worth a look, you know, worth a shot. And you know, wow. I can't believe Ross Chastain just made that. Holy cow. That's incredible. I've just never seen anything like that. It worked so perfectly. I think he just set a track record. That might be one of the greatest passes in NASCAR history. The wall ride. I mean, it's... wow. I can't believe what I just saw. I can't believe it. I mean, he almost passed Keselowski for 4th. Holy cow. That is the most full send I have ever seen. I can't believe it. I imagine this hurts for Hamlin fans. I do. But, I mean, it's like a Hail Mary. He just got the Hail Mary. I just, wow. I mean, I don't disagree that it's not really normal racing, but how do you officiate that? I mean, at what point do we say that something like that is so dangerous it's not worth doing? Because now you've opened the door. I mean, you could see anyone do that the rest of the... Anytime we're at Martinsville, the wall ride is going to become a move. You know? Twitter's going to go mad. I don't know what else you can say. I just... It's the most heartbreaking way to get eliminated if you're Denny Hamlin or Chase Elliott. Like I said, I look at the owner's title. I mean, Christopher Bell is running for a championship. It just seems crazy. The way that things continue to work out for Bell, I mean, wow. Christopher Bell could be your champion, you know? To be fair, Ross Chastain was ahead of Denny Hamlin when the chase started. I'll say that much. He was ahead when the chase started, so, you know, it is what it is. Denny Hamlin looks a little, obviously, disappointed. Great job on the 20 car. Wow. Rubbins Racing, I guess. I've just never, ever in my life seen anything crazier than that. That video was not sped up. That was the actual speed. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Wow. I just can't believe what I watched, you know? Look at that lap time. Ross Chastain ran an 18.8 on the final lap of the race. I bet Ryan Blaney in third's wishing he would have given that a shot. Holy cow. He didn't gain speed. It's because there was so much slowdown. When you slow down that hard, you just gain so much speed going off into the corner, and you're scrubbing it all off. And normally, you'd lose all your momentum on the next straightaway, but because this specific track is so narrow, you can actually hold that speed down the front stretch. I mean, I can't believe that. That is the craziest thing I've ever seen. He did it. I mean, wow. I want to know what the drivers think of that. That is the craziest move I've ever seen. That is the crazy. I mean, I'm like, even from Chase Elliott's onboard, I've never seen a car just yeet the finish around that. I mean, how in the world? How do you even start? I mean, I think at some point you have to put a rule in so you prevent that. I mean, there's a certain element, like, that's not racing. You know, you did what you had to do, kind of, but, you know, I don't want to see every finish come down to that either. I mean, because you got to realize there's an access gate there, and if it catches the access gate wrong, it could have destroyed that car and created a big wreck. Like, there's a danger to that too. But wow, I just can't believe that. Yes, Chastain just beat the Cup qualifying record. I'm full of everything. Yep. Okay, incoming rule, probably going to be a no wall ride rule, which I am actually in favor of. I don't think you want to encourage that. You don't want to encourage that. I can promise you that. That is dangerous. Now, look, you got to let it work for the first guy, so Ross gets through. But after this, I'm sorry, I don't want to see that on a regular basis because I mean, he got 5th, but like with quotations of rode the entire wall to finish. Like, I think eventually you got to put a rule in, but I don't think you do it now. I think you have to have a no wall ride rule of some kind in the future. I mean, you generally don't need to write rules like that, but I think you will have to. Because like I said, there is an access gate in turn 4, and if the car doesn't roll that perfectly, that car gets destroyed, shoots across the track, destroys somebody else. It's too risky. But, I mean, enjoy it while it is. I just think that's a moment that makes rules. That is a rule maker. That's the type of thing that everyone looks at and says, we kind of want a rule for that, and I totally get it. Meanwhile, the wreckers and checkers, I think everybody knows that's getting offered, by the way, guys. We're getting an offered version of that. Holy cow, I've just never seen anything like that. It's going to be called the Chastain rule, and that's totally okay. Unbelievable. Christopher Bell is in, and Denny Hamlin's out. I never thought I'd see it, you know? Usually at other tracks it doesn't work, but with Martinsville and Darlington, you know, I just think you have to do it. I think in the name of safety, you know, Sheldon Creed tried it at Darlington. He ended up tearing up his car. It looks like everybody made it back okay, but, you know, Darlington, it didn't work either time. So I would be more willing to let Darlington work, but I think Martinsville, you have to have that rule in place because the wall ride's just such a non. I mean, it's not in the spirit of racing. Let's say that in the spirit of racing, riding the wall isn't really part of it. That being said, I will say you got to let it go for the first time. Like, you can't put any rule in. It's not there right now. So, but I think by next year they should put a rule in. I do think you can laugh and enjoy it now, but then by next year we say, you know what, none of that. That's pretty dangerous. Because I just don't think we want to see a bunch of guys doing that next year. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen, though. I've never seen anything like it. Bristol has too much banking. Well, Bristol has too much pace. Like, the reason it works at Martinsville is because your straightaway speed is so much faster than your corner speed. Bristol isn't quite that bad, so you could try to wall ride at Bristol, but you're probably going to lose it on exit by the time it works. So it has more to do with the differential between straightaway speed and corner speed. You know, there's a reason you can actually get away with it at Sonoma on certain video games. You can't do it in real life because it's a bunch of tires, you know. But, I mean, wow. I just don't know what to say. I think that Ross car is getting made, no doubt. No doubt, guys. Great run today for Briscoe. He gave it all he had. But wow. I mean, he gained 5 spots. He gained 5 spots in the last lap. I mean, everyone's talking about that Chastain. Like I said, I think you got to put a rule in for the future. That's just, it's one of those things. I think we see it once and we're amazed by it, but I don't think we want to see it every time a finish comes down to it. Because what is a leader supposed to do? Is a leader just supposed to, like, think about it. Everyone on the lead lap's just going to do that, you know? Yeah, iRacing, you can actually do that, I think. So, holy cow. All right, guys. Well, that'll wrap it up. Your championship for Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott, and Christopher Bell will race next week for the Drivers' Championship. And for the Owners' Championship, Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Christopher Bell, and Ross Chastain will run for that one. So going into next weekend, we got some different storylines, including the fact that we could have a different owner and driver champion combination. So could be very interesting moving into next week. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching the stream and tuning in. We will see you next week for Xfinity on Saturday, Cup on Sunday, and that'll wrap up our season of live streams. We will still do a couple here and there with new arrivals, and we'll have Sunday specials returning right after Phoenix. But thanks for tuning in, guys. We will see you next week for the championship race at Phoenix.